Good evening, soccer fans, and welcome to Paytech Park. I am Joe Giuliano, and this is the Rhinos pregame show sponsored by Perry's Ice Cream. Tonight, it's the Rhinos' last game of the regular season, game number 28 of the 2007 campaign. It's also the final of 3 games in a row versus the arch-rival Montreal Impact. In the last game between Rochester and Montreal, 2 goals from Charles Becky in the 9th and 35th minute, giving the Impact a 2-0 shutout at Claude Robillard Sports Complex in Montreal. And Montreal also shut. All right, let's try it again here. Welcome back to the pregame show. A lot of Montreal fans here, so there could have been someone tinkering with the wires, but we'll get through it here. This is the Rhinos pregame show, sponsored by Perry's Ice Cream. We were just talking about tonight's matchup. In the last game, Montreal 2-0 winners over the Rhinos. Charles Becky, the former Rhino, scoring in the 9th and 35th minute. And also, the Impact shutting out the Rhinos 1-0 in Montreal on August the 5th and 2-0 in Rochester on August the 24th. So the Rhinos have their work cut out, trying to find a way to put one past this stingy Montreal defense. The Rhinos are now in 6th place in the USL First Division standings with 39 points. They're only 1 point behind the Puerto Rico Islanders. Rochester enters the game with a record of 11 wins, 10 losses, and 6 ties. With a win tonight, Rochester secures the number 5 spot, and they will face the Atlanta Silverbacks in the first round of the playoffs. If Montreal wins, the whole scenario could change. If Rochester loses, they may have a possibility of facing Montreal, depending upon what Seattle and Portland do. So there's so many different scenarios right now, just rolling the dice to see what happens. The bottom line is we've got to play the games out until tomorrow night at about 9 p.m. We'll know exactly who is going where and what is going on as far as the USL First Division playoffs are concerned. So let's look at the Rhinos heading into their 28th and final regular season game of the season. When we come back, we will take a look at the Montreal Impact, tonight's opponent, for game number 28 here at Paytech Park. And also, we're going to do a little special version tonight. We're going to have the award ceremony with Don Stevens on field level coming your way also on the pregame show. This is the pregame show sponsored by Perry's Ice Cream, WYSL News 1040 AM. Welcome back to the Rhinos pregame show. Joe Giuliano with you tonight. It's the 28th game of the regular season. Rochester, Montreal, coming to you from Paytech Park. And for Montreal, it's also their 28th game of the season. The Impact entering tonight's match with a record of 14 wins, 5 losses, and 8 ties. Also, again, their 28th game of the season. With 50 points, Montreal is tied for second place in the USL First Division standings with the Portland Timbers. And the Rhinos, again, trying to find a way to defeat this very stingy Montreal defense. The Impact are guaranteed to end the season among the top 3 teams in the standings. Again, they're only 1 point behind Seattle for that first place spot, tied with Portland for that second place spot in the USL First Division. In the last 10 games, Montreal losing only once in the last 10 games. 7 wins, 1 losses, and 2 ties for the Impact. Forward Charles Becky, number 12, was playing with the Rhinos last year, scored 4 goals in 3 games against his former team. He leads the USL First Division with 10 goals, actually tied for the lead with Seattle's forward Sebastian Letou. The biggest trade, probably the biggest one-sided trade you're going to see in the USL First Division this year, since Joey Jurtson and David Testo came over to join the Impact on July the 30th. Montreal 7 wins, 1 loss, and 1 tie. And the Impact 14-0-2 when they score the first goal in the game, 0-5-4 when they allow the first goal. So Rochester will need to get on the board early and try to make something happen against the Montreal Impact here tonight at Paytech Park. Let's look at the opponent. Both Rochester and Montreal heading in to their 28th game of the season. Tickets remain here at Paytech Park in what should be a beautiful night for soccer from Rochester. The Rhinos and the Impact kicking off at 7:35. Don't forget, we're going to have a special edition here on the pregame show tonight. We'll go down to the field. Don Stevens will have the awards presentations, the Most Valuable Player Award, the Rookie of the Year, the Comeback Player of the Year, the Yakovangelo Community Award of the Year, and the Nothnagel Leadership of the Year Award, all coming up here tonight from Paytech Park. Don Stevens will host the ceremony from field level. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll we'll take a look at some scores and standings in the USL First Division. Also, we'll throw it down to the field for Don Stevens and the awards presentation. You are listening to the pregame show sponsored by Perry's Ice Cream on WYSL News 1040 AM. Welcome back to the Reynolds pregame show sponsored by Perry's Ice Cream. Joe Giuliano. And doing a little unique version of the program this evening, we'll be heading down to field level as the Rhinos will be announcing their awards for the 2007 season. The Comeback Player of the Year Award, the Yakovangelo Community Award, the Rookie of the Year, and the Nothnagel Leadership and Dedication Award. Also, the big one, the Most Valuable Player Award, also being announced this evening here at Paytech Park. My broadcast partner, Don Stevens, will MC the ceremonies tonight coming down on field level. Again, the Rhinos are taking on the Montreal Impact here at Paytech Park this evening. 7:35 kickoff. Tickets still remain for tonight's game, and both teams playing their 28th game of the year. For the Rhinos, they come in with a record of 11 wins, 10 losses, and 6 ties. Montreal 14-5-8 right now, and they are currently tied for second in the USL's First Division. Again, Don Stevens momentarily going to be presenting the big Rhino Trophy to the MVP for the 2007 season for the Rochester Raging Rhinos. A lot of great choices as far as Comeback Players of the Year or MVP award. I think pretty self-explanatory who is going to receive that for the Rhinos this year. Again, Don Stevens heading up to the podium, preparing his speech for this evening, as the Rhinos have a bunch of players sitting on the bench waiting to receive their awards. Let's go down to field level. Don Stevens, MC for the Rhinos 2007 awards ceremony.
Good evening, everybody. Nice to have you out for another evening of soccer here at beautiful Paytech Park. Can you believe another season is coming to a close already? How fast they go by. This is the final regular season game between the Montreal Impact and your Rochester Rhinos. And tonight we honor this season's outstanding performances at the annual Rochester Rhinos Award ceremonies. Let's please also welcome the ownership group and management group of the organization. Steve Donner, Frank DeRoss, Peter Bourne, Chris Wilmot, and the Executive Vice President, Matthew Ford. The first award this evening is the Food Link Rookie of the Year, which goes to the first-year pro that has made an immediate impact. And here to present the Rookie of the Year award is Rhinos season ticket holder Nancy Welk.
Nancy Welk, she's been here since day one. And we're taking many road trips.
This season's Rookie of the Year walked onto Rhinos roster at the team's preseason combine in March. And he's been a consistent piece of the Rhinos starting lineup at central defensive midfield all year. The winner of the 2007 Food Link Rookie of the Year, number 22, Kevin Burns.
Kevin Burns, the University of Connecticut standout. Congratulations to him. He is the 2007 Rhinos Rookie of the Year. And Burns really came in that defensive midfield role, did a great job, and trying to fight that spot with Josh Bolton. Good job by Kevin Burns winning the...
Congratulations, Kevin Burns. The next award tonight is the Nothnagel Realtors Leadership and Dedication Award. And this award is presented to the player that has shown true grit, pride, and determination on the field each and every game. And here to present the award is Rhino season ticket holder and the owner of the Sports Shack, Dave Furioso. Now a 10-year veteran, this Rhino is a professional in the greatest sense of the word. And this season, he has stepped up and demanded more not only from his teammates, but also from himself as well. His tenacity and competitive spirit have enabled him to display leadership qualities this season more than ever. Your 2007 Nothnagel Leadership and Dedication Award winner, number 13, John Ball.
No surprise there. You talk about gritty and hard working and determined. Johnny Ball, perfect example of that. Congratulations to John Ball.
Congratulations, Johnny Ball. The next award is the Yakavangelo Community Service Award, which is given to the player that has given the most time and service back to the Rochester community. And here to present the award is Frank Yakavangelo.
Frank Yakavangelo, Bernie Yakavangelo, wonderful members of the soccer community.
This year's winner made great contributions to the Rochester community throughout the 2007 season. He not only worked at Rochester's Northwest YMCA, but he also participated in countless community service events and projects. The 2007 winner of the Community Service Award is number 12, Jason Perry.
Jason Perry, great honor for him. Always in the community, always working hard, giving back to the children, and also seeing me at the Y, my membership place at the Y. Jason's
Congratulations, Jason Perry. Next is the Connors and Ferris Comeback Player of the Year. To present the award is Greg Connors with his sons Will and Luke. This player returned from an injury after missing 20 straight matches with the club, and in his first 3 games back, he recorded 3 consecutive shutouts. This year's Connors and Ferris Comeback Player of the Year, number 24, Scott Vallow.
No surprise there, Scotty Vallow. As soon as he came back in the lineup for the Rhinos, the whole team really found its balance and defensive composure. Congratulations to Scott Vallow.
Congratulations, Scott Vallow. And tonight's final award is the Most Valuable Player Award, sponsored by the Flanders Group. The Rhinos MVP is voted on by his teammates, whose performance is deemed most valuable to the team's success. And here to present the Most Valuable Player Award is members of the Flanders Group. Chairman and CEO, Chris McVicker. President of Workmen's Comp Division, Heather Doherty. Valerie Webster. Mike Pollock. Michael Beatty. Kim Hoyt. Jerry Moroder. Jerry Savory. Riyadh Saw. Jennifer Watson. Bobby Weigel. And Barb Walzak. This year's team MVP is currently 3rd in the league in goals scored with 9. He's also 4th in the USL First Division with 19 points and has done it all in just 1,458 minutes played. The 2007 Rhinos MVP, number 11, Amad Diallo.
Is there any surprise? Matthew Delicott goes out with the injury, and Diallo really steps up, finds his game. And with some more consistent time, Diallo is going to be one of the top forwards in this league. Congratulations to Ahmed Diallo, the 2007 Rhinos MVP. Look at his name engraved on a plaque, that huge Rhino trophy awarded to the MVP every year for the Rochester Rhinos. Again, Ahmed Diallo winning the 2007 MVP trophy.
Congratulations once again to Rochester's MVP, Ahmed Diallo.
And that'll do it for the awards ceremony tonight. To hear from Paytech Park, Don Stevens, the MC from field level. Looking back at the awards tonight, Scotty Vallow, the comeback player of the year for Rochester. The Yakavangelo Community Award going to Jason Perry. Rookie of the Year, Kevin Burns. And the North Angle Leadership and Dedication Award going to John Ball. And the big one tonight, the most valuable player for the Rochester Rhinos in 2007, Ahmed Diallo. He has got 9 goals, currently 3rd in the USL First Division. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll take a quick look around the USL First Division. This is the Rhinos pregame show, sponsored by Perry's Ice Cream. Welcome back to the final segment of the Rhinos pregame show, sponsored by Perry's Ice Cream. Joe Giuliano getting you ready tonight for the Rhinos and the Montreal Impact. And tonight, Rochester taking on a very difficult and stingy Montreal team. Games last night in the USL First Division, Puerto Rico at Charleston, 0-0 draw there. Charleston needed a win to enter the playoffs. They don't get the win. They are now out of the 2007 USL First Division playoffs. Atlanta at Vancouver, 1-1 tie there. With the win, Atlanta clinches fourth place in the USL First Division. 2 games this evening in the USL First Division. Of course, Montreal is here at Rochester. Carolina at California. If the Railhawks come up with a win tonight, they're in the playoffs, and Miami FC done for the season. 2 games tomorrow. Seattle is at Minnesota, and Portland at Vancouver. 6:05 kickoff for Seattle and 7 o'clock kickoff for Portland. We're looking at the table right now. The Sounders topping the table with 51 points. Right now they've played 27 games, and behind them right now it's Montreal and Portland tied with 50 points each, followed by Atlanta with 43 points. So with a win tonight, Montreal can jump up to 53 points. If Portland and Seattle are to draw or lose, Montreal secures that first place finish in the USL First Division. Puerto Rico with 40 points. They have played 28 games. If the Rhinos win tonight, they'll have 42 points, and they will jump up over the Puerto Rico Islanders with 42 points. Vancouver is qualified for the playoffs. They have 38 points. The last spot, it's between Miami FC, 31 points after 28 games played, and Carolina, 29 points after 27 games played. So, again, after tomorrow night, we'll have a much clearer indication of who's going where as far as the USL First Division is concerned and the playoffs in 2007. We'll take a break. When we come back, it's going to be the Rhinos and the Impact. You've been listening to the Rhinos pregame show, sponsored by Perry's Ice Cream.
All right, here at Paytech Park tonight as the Rhinos get ready to take on the Montreal Impact. Glad to have you along. I'm Don Stevens with Joe Giuliano, and we're working at getting things underway here as the Rhinos take on the Montreal Impact for the final meeting of the year between the two teams. And I guess you might say, Joe, thank goodness it's the final meeting.
Final meeting of the regular season. The funny thing is, Don, there is a chance these two teams could meet again in the playoffs if the scenario works out as far as the points are concerned. So I'm kind of tired of seeing Montreal, but it always makes for an interesting game, so we'll see what happens.
Let's see, what would that have to be? Would that have to be Montreal 3rd and Rochester 6th?
Yep.
All right, so we know that the Rhinos will play Atlanta if they win tonight. We know that if they don't win tonight, Rochester will play either Seattle, Portland, or Montreal.
And Atlanta, another team that kind of scares me. I've been saying this all along. I like the way they play. I think they're playing some good soccer. They could be a tough opponent for the Rhinos.
All right, tonight we'll see if the Rhinos can't take care and maybe figure out the Montreal Impact. And one thing is for sure, no matter who they play in the playoffs, they really need to get back on a bit of a roll here because it's been a losing string, and you don't want to go into the playoffs on a losing slide.
Yeah, it's been a tough stretch. The Rhinos are just a notch above 500. And the funny thing is, they're in the playoffs, and they still have a lot of hope. A lot of players who are injured are coming back into the lineup, and there's also some key players making some starts late in the season. So, it's been a tough season, but anything can happen. We've got to stay focused and positive and keep working hard.
Few things yet to be decided in the league, as, for example, the top 3 teams any one of them can finish anywhere from 1st to 3rd. That's Seattle, Portland, and Montreal finishing 1st to 3rd. And then Atlanta, we know, finishes 4th. That's the only thing really decided except for the teams that are out of it. And then for the next 3 teams, Puerto Rico, Rochester, and Vancouver, any of those teams can finish anywhere from 5th to 7th. And then you look at Miami and Carolina can each finish either 8th or 9th. So there is your table, and we'll be getting underway here at Paytech Park very shortly with tonight's game between the Rhinos and the Impact. And this is the Rhinos Broadcast Network.
So proud we hailed at the twilight last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so glad. and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night, and our flag was still there. Oh, sit on that star-spangled banner and wave. Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All right, here at Paycheck Park tonight. Nicely done, gentlemen from Special Olympics. And tell you what, Joe, I don't know if you've ever done the PA system here or not, but it's not easy to do the PA because there's such a long delay in it. You just don't know. It's like you're slowed up. You're half speed trying to wait for your voice to catch up to you.
I just don't stop talking. I keep talking, and whatever happens, happens.
All right, let's check the starting lineups. And, of course, the starting lineups each night brought to you by Nothnega Realtors, Rochester's full-service realtor. First of all, for the visiting Montreal Impact, in goal is Matt Jordan. And what a return he's had from an injury. Jordan is in goal, coming in with a 10-2-5 record of 0.57 goals against average. The defensive role would include Luis Aguilar, Mauricio Vincello, Andre Arango, and Gabe Gervais. In the midfield, we'll see Simon Gotti, David Testo, Leonardo Di Lorenzo, and Matt Pulaski. And then up front, Joey Jurtson and the Rhino killer, and that's Charles Becky. For the Rhinos starting out in goal tonight, Scott Vallow. And he now enters this game with a 4-3-0 record, a 0.86 goals against average. Vallow is in goal for the Rhinos. And in the defensive role, we'll see Chris Aloisi, Kenny Birch, Scott Palguda, and Alfonso Loera gets his first start as a Rhino. Did see action last game for a little bit, but he gets a start here tonight. The midfield will include Josh Bolton, Nate Kraft back in the lineup, Mike Embersley at a midfield spot, and Johnny Menyonger back to the midfield. And up front, reunited is Matthew Delicate and Ahmad Diallo. So that's your lineup for tonight for the Rhinos, getting ready to take on the Montreal Impact. And that's one thing that the Rhinos are looking to do. Coaches Callaway and Moslin are trying to solidify the lineup, if you will, going into the playoffs. I mean, it's too bad to be trying to do that near the end here with all of the injuries and everything that's gone on. That happens to be the case right now.
Yeah, that's just the case you mentioned. The injuries have really forced their hand and tried to force Coach Callaway and Yuka Maslin to be very creative in who they select. There's been a lot of players playing out of position, midfielders playing defense, forwards playing midfield. So you kind of get the feeling, though, that they're getting back into that form and players are finding their natural spots on the field, and the timing could be just right.
So the Rhinos tonight will be starting out shooting at the net to our left. And Scott Vallow in goal down to our right. The Rhinos are wearing the whites with the black and yellow trim. And the visiting Impact in an all-blue uniform with the white trim. And the kickoff to be taken by the Impact at midfield as Becky will start things off with Jurtson. And we're about to get underway. Becky has been on a tear this year, leading the league with 10 goals, and 4 of them have come against the Rhinos.
You know, you can say he doesn't really care about playing against his old team. Deep down, you want to show the best against your former team.
It's just too bad he never looked as good last year as he has this year so far. All right, here we go. As play is underway and is pushed out on the right wing side. Pulaski checking back. Will drop it off at the midfield line. And Aguilar up the right wing, but deflected away and out. Throw in for the Impact across midfield and into Rhino territory. Aguilar to take the throw in as he goes short. And it's pulled back to the outside, but knocked away from Jurtson, and the Rhinos have it. In the middle, Menyonger gets a shove by Gotti, but gets away and giving it off to Embersley in the center circle. Sneaks it through midfield to Diallo as he moves back on the ball, drops it off at midfield. Along the near wing, Palguda's pass too far for Kraft. It's taken away by the Impact and played out, and Palguda steps in and takes the feet up from Pulaski.
Yeah, that's going to be
welcome to the game.
That's going to be the approach that the Rhinos want to take. Physical play. When they played up in Montreal and they lost 1-0, they physically brought it to the Impact. The last 2 games they played, they really didn't. So I think Scott Vallow setting the tone early on.
Vallow
Or Scott Palguda.
Oh, I was going to say, let's see. Now, he hasn't seen a whole lot yet.
If he's around midfield, we're in trouble.
It was a foul that was called as the ball is now played away on the far side. And pushed out back near midfield. Vincello in underneath it. Left foots it forward, tipped to the outside, chased after along the far wing, and kept in play by the impact. At the corner, and a high cross through the box. Out the near side is headed away out over the end line by Birch. Corner kick for the impact. Montreal first corner of the match.
And I think, Palguda going after Pulaski. Pulaski set out last week's game because he got a red card against Carolina. He's got a bit of a temper. He's got a short fuse. So Palguda going right for the... I guess you could say the short-tempered one for Montreal, so he can get him off his match.
And it looks like Di Lorenzo over to take the corner kick. I can't tell from here, can you?
It is Di Lorenzo. He has been dynamite with that left foot.
Left-footed kick, in-swinging kick off the right wing side, low into the box. That booted away and on top. Chasing after Pulaski, but sliding in Embersley to knock it away, and that's pushed forward by Loera. And then it's volleyed out near midfield. Stepping up, high chip downfield, and into Rhino territory by Arango. Off on the far end, still inside the far end of the box, chased after Aloisi. He is watching closely there. As the ball is pulled back out top, controlled by Jertson, dropping it off on the left wing side. Vincello pass forward at the 25 and into the middle. It's chipped forward down inside the box by Jertson, but knocked away and out top once again. The impact with it, played to the outside along the far wing. Pushed forward into the middle, but tipped to the outside again. Gotti in underneath it will drop it back at midfield for the defender, Gabe Gervais. And he'll play it all the way back to the keeper.
This is good defending by the Rhinos. This is what Coach Callaway wants. Much tighter marking. Force Montreal back. Don't give Becky those guys any confidence going forward.
Volleyed forward all the way downfield by Arango, and it'll spin out of bounds on the near side. A throw in for the Rhinos from their own 30 on the near side. Palguda throw in to Nate Kraft. As he looks it over, Kraft rolls it in near midfield, checking back to help out. Menyonger drops it off once again. Palguda at his 30. Left foots it through midfield. In underneath it, Delicott, as he tips it aside to get by Gervais. Moving forward, but coming back to run in on him. And taken away once again as Di Lorenzo almost broke it up. Still knocked loose, and now stepping in to take it away is Aguilar. On the near side, Pulaski dropping it back once again. It's picked up there by Arango, and he'll drop it all the way back down to his 6 for the keeper, Weber. Jordan is the keeper tonight.
Delicott and Diallo want to get on the same page, but Delicott, he wants to bang, Diallo wants to run. Good chance for Deli to play a through ball to Diallo with his pace. Just hanging on to the ball a little too long.
Jordan shanks it away out the right foot, comes down about the 30, and moving in, the Rhinos can't get to it. Popped up in the air again on the far wing, and then comes down to the center circle. Bolton in underneath it. Plays it out of the right wing side. Aloisi moving forward across midfield. Aloisi brings it forward, 40 yards out, off in the middle for Bolton. A give and go up the right side. Aloisi running on, overlapping as he is now bumped off the ball by Vincello on the far wing and spun off by Gervais on the left wing side. Picked up there, the impact have it. Pass in the middle, checking back is Jertson, and it's first time away out of the near side by Arango. Right forward across midfield, Pulaski grabbing onto Kraft, and a foul is called on Kraft. Well, Pulaski had a hold of the jersey of Kraft from behind, but the referee was on the other side. Couldn't see that one.
You know, Nate Kraft, I thought that was great defending from the Rhino number 26. Just did a great job using his body to shield off Pulaski, and I think Pulaski definitely should have been called for the foul there. Great defending by Kraft. Again, we pass along our sympathies to Nate and his family, his mother passing away. Great to see him back on the pitch.
Dropped out top. Gotti in underneath it. It's knocked away by Menyonger for Delicott. Looking for the through ball. Diallo after it. Getting back first. Arango stepping in the way of the ball, and he'll lay it back to the keeper. Again, Jordan will shank it up into the stands. Almost in position for you to catch it there, Joe.
I was going to have that signed by Don Stevens. But that's the ball we're talking about. On the ground, Montreal's defense is big. Maybe not as quick as people think, though. Yellow's got the speed to get behind them.
Delicott touching into the outside. Kraft couldn't reach it. Ball rolls out. Throw in for the impact from their own 20. On the near side, a pass ahead, but that's knocked down by Birch, moving up on the play. Locked away and out of bounds by the impact. So a throw in for the Rhinos now 35 yards out. Kraft to take the throw in. No, he's going to leave it for Palguda. Off the near side. Palguda's throw toward the middle for Ambersley. Moving in to block it off the chest. Knocks it down, and Palguda to the outside again. Spins it off Ambersley, turning in the middle, looking to get loose. Drops it off for Bolton. He'll play it through the center circle, switching to the right wing side. Aloisi there. Watched closely by Di Lorenzo, dropping it back. Pulled across midfield by Loera. He'll draw down into Montreal territory. Alfonso Loera looking for the through ball, but blocked away, gets it right back. Now he'll try the right wing side to Menyonger. Has it 20 yards out. Far into the box, turning back to the left foot, but can't get a centering pass away. Drops it off. Aloisi sends it along the 18. Down in front, knocked down by Ambersley. Out top of the 25. Bolton trying to sneak it through, and that's booted away by Pileski off in the far wing. Settled there, off the right toe of Aloisi to Bolton, right back to Aloisi. Pass forward to Ben Younger. As he's bumped, looking to get away from Vingello. Chips it up the right wing corner, but too much on it. Out over the end line, and a goal kick for the Impact. No score in this game. We're in the 7th minute.
Good possession from the Rhinos, though. Johnny Younger has had a lot of touches here in this first half. Look for him to be a factor tonight. I think he's going to make something special happen. Diallo on that last ball that was played into the box. Aguilar had a hold of the jersey. That's one thing where Diallo is going to have to find a way to be strong, fight off those little tactics by the defenders, and challenge for the ball.
So the ball is placed at the 6, and Jordan, well, I'll tell you what, he came back. He has not given up a goal since he came back from injury. 6 straight games with a shutout for Jordan.
He has been fantastic. The face mask is off. A lot of confidence, great defense in front of him, and when things go good, they go good.
Flick forward across midfield by Ambersley. Bugatti turns it to the outside. Montreal taking it back. That's pulled down, but with a hand by the Rhinos, and so it'll be a free kick for the Impact near the midfield line.
I'll tell you, there's a buzz in here tonight that I haven't heard all season long. The horns were given out to fans, people blowing them left and right, and the Ultras are here from Montreal, the Stampede cheering, and a lot of excitement in the park tonight.
At midfield, played by Gervais through midfield, all the way down to the Rochester 25, headed away by Palguda, flicked off into the center circle by Younger, but then up underneath it, it's played away by the Impact, and Bolton underneath it. Again, up in the air, looks like we're playing volleyball at the moment. Trying to get the ball down to the turf, and finally brought away by the Impact, pushed forward off of the near wing. Palguda in underneath it, Kraft up the left side, dropping it back for Palguda. Has to turn back for the ball. Left puts it out through midfield. As blocking it, Gervais, but that's popped up in the air. Whistle blows, free kick for the Rhinos on a quick restart. Ben Younger on the left wing side for Kraft. Spins around, trying to get away. Drops it back near midfield. Palguda off to Bolton. He hasn't seen action in quite some time. Bolton's pass in for Ambersley. Feed forward at the 25, Ben Younger looking for the return pass in the middle. Ambersley couldn't get there in time, and that's back near midfield. Becky, with his first touch on the ball, I think, since the opening kickoff, pulled away from the ball. It's at midfield. The Rhinos take it back. Bolton looking upfield. Pass in. Ambersley in the center circle. Comes back and drops it off his own side of midfield for Burtz. It's a return pass at the midfield line. Ambersley spins it up the left wing side along the near touchline for Kraft. Dropping it back at the midfield line. Palguda for Bolton. Rolls it in for Ambersley. As he's watched, we'll switch it to the right wing side for Aloisi. Moving forward up the right wing, down to the 35. To the 30, Aloisi, step over on the ball, moving forward, nifty footwork there. Down near the end line, chasing after, but it's tackled away, but out of bounds by the Impact. The throw in for the Rhinos, 8 yards out on the far side.
Montreal, they're just so compact defensively. They defend as a unit, they shift beautifully. Very difficult team to beat. Aloisi, this is what the Rhinos are going to have to do. Take players on one-on-one. They'll try to get around Di Lorenzo. Vincello's got to come in after that point. So that's going to loosen up that defense.
Again, it's kicked out of bounds by Montreal. So now a throw in for the Rhinos deep in the corner at about the 2. This off the right wing side, the far side of the field. Turned out to be a very pleasant evening here at Paytech. Throw in as Ben Younger has his jersey pulled again. Couldn't get to the ball, but Bolton up with it. It's tackled away, but a handball. So now a free kick for the Rhinos. 22 yards out off the right wing side. At the far corner of the box.
See if the Rhinos can come up with something creative here. Good challenge there by Josh Bolton. Coming in hard. Playing the ball off the Montreal defender's hand. Younger, Ambersley. Let's see if they have any magic here to show Montreal.
Well, I know that the Rhinos have been working on some things the last couple of days to change up their set pieces. Ambersley with the right foot sends it down inside. Headed up in the air for the right post, but misses wide and out over the end line.
Set pieces for the Rhinos really have been off the mark. It's good to see late in the season they're trying to get something on that same page. I'm not sure if that was the play, though, to go off Younger's head so close to the restart.
Yeah, I don't think somehow that's in their playbook, a shot wide to the right.
Off Younger's head, who's 5'7", maybe not even 7.
All right, so a goal kick for the Impact. Right-footed away by Jordan as it comes down in the center circle. Headed out on the near wing, chased after by Pileski as he and Kraft battle 1v1. In Montreal territory, it'll be dropped back now to Arango. It's amazing how much he and Gervais look alike. It's like they went to Twin City to get outfitted or something. Everything from the hairdo on.
And they got the long, flowing locks.
And the same skinny body, tall, skinny body. Got back by Burt's all the way to Vallow, and I'm not sure that this may be Vallow's first touch on the ball.
That's the way he likes it.
Throws it to the outside on the right wing, brings it forward. Aloisi, long right footer downfield. Diallo in on Arango as it rolls deep in the far corner. Arango gets to it, lays it up the wing for Vincello. As he'll spin around and look upfield. Left foots it out across the midfield line. Stepping in to take it away in turn is Loera. Rhino's Alfonso Loera, his first start as a Rhino. Off of the right side, Aloisi pass forward to the 35 for Hambersley. Overran the ball, has to turn back for it. Drops it to his own side of midfield. Burt stepping forward. Almost double team. It gets a short pass away for Hambersley. Again, his own side of midfield, Loera. Along the far touchline, right foots it through. Diallo trying to get in behind Gervais as that's headed up in the air. Comes down to the far corner and Vincello's back to cover. Drops it off near the end line for Gervais. Far into the box, plays it away in the corner for Vincello, and he'll left foot it out to midfield. Spinning away but out of bounds. Throw in on the far side for the Rhinos just across the midfield line.
The last two attacks by the Rhinos, Loera and Aloisi, played long balls to Diallo. The long ball's got to be played to Delicate. Diallo working off of him. Those two guys got to flip-flop their roles up top.
Bolton dropping it back. Loera has it. At midfield, rolls it to the outside on the right wing. Still no score. This is the 13th minute of Paycheck. Long ball at the right wing side, deep in the corner. Diallo after it, looking for a cross, rolling out over the end line. And a goal kick once again for the Montreal Impact. Sponsors of these broadcasts include Connolly Printing, the official printer of the Rhinos. RITE and everything you need to be perfectly comfortable. And by Salvatores, they deliver everything but babies.
Good through ball there, trying to get Diallo sprung behind the Montreal defense. It was a good ball that Diallo just almost gave up on. He had some space, got it behind the defense. He just didn't get off a quality cross.
Season finale here at Paytech Park. 28th match of the season for each team. As Menyonger's run over from behind, foul is called, and a restart for the Rhinos at the midfield line.
Testo coming over from Vancouver with Joey Jurtson, one of the most lopsided trades you're going to see in the history of the USL.
Sure helped out Vancouver, didn't it?
Yeah.
Here's Diallo, settles the ball to his feet at the 18, turns, trying to get a shot away, but blocked away by Arango. Right away upfield. Becky has it, being challenged there by Loera, and then goes down, and a foul is called. John Ball is missing because of accumulation of yellow card violations, so he is suspended for this game. Aaron Lyons is recovering from an injury. He was cleared to play, but still you got to get back in playing shape after missing a game or two. And the rest, everybody else is healthy.
They could use the left-footed touch of Lyons, that last foul there. Becky, all the experience in the world. He feels just a little bit of contact, and he's down for the count.
Chip down inside the far end of the 18, out to grab it on one big hop is the keeper, Vallow, who has given up 2 goals per game in the last 2 games to Montreal.
Yeah. Montreal, though, Becky wide open on those point-blank opportunities. And the Rhinos are going to be looking to tighten up more on balls served into Charles Becky or anyone else.
Big kick through midfield. Offside flag is in the air. Play goes on across midfield. Rhinos have it. Ambersley checking back. He'll drop it off for Loera. The offside flag is still in the air. Okay. And on the far wing,
put it down, let him play.
That's pushed out of bounds. Well, the ball went out of bounds, and the referee says no, it's going to be a throw in the other way. And wait a minute, the ref finally figures out that the linesman has his flag in the air and says, wait a minute, we're changing it here.
You know, that's a funny thing because I've seen some officials who keep it up for 10, 15 seconds. The referee doesn't acknowledge it. They put it down. We continue with the play. The referee holding his ground. The referee's assistant that time and says, no, we're going to make this happen. And he's patient, gets his call.
All right, so the ball will be put back in play from his own 35 by Vallow. 15th minute, no score at Paytech. Right-footed downfield. After it is Delicate, the flick on is blocked away on the far side, up into the stands. A throw in for the Rhinos from 30 yards out off the right wing.
That's the kind of work Dele's got to do with Diallo. It's up. He's got to be the banger, the big guy, and Diallo's got to recognize to feed off of that.
That's spiked back inside the far end of the 18 by Menyonger, but no help there. Played to midfield. Loera knocks it down. Bolton, one touch, dropping it back at midfield for Burtz. He'll chip it forward. Menyonger heads it to the outside of the near wing, and in underneath it moves Palguda. Off the left wing side. On the near touchline to Kraft. Spinning with the ball. Dropping it back. Palguda has it 40 yards out. Now pass in the middle for Ambersley. Turns it to the outside. Moving up the left wing. Kraft dropping it off for Pelguda. High cross. Right post side. That's knocked down. Headed away out to the 18. Delicate spinning. Can't get a shot away. Tried to turn to that but couldn't do it. And the ball played out to the 35. Down it forward once again. Delicate in underneath it. Trying to get away. Arango as Delicate was taken down first. And he comes back, takes Arango down, and Delicate gets called. It's the second foul that counts, not the first.
It's always the retaliation that gets the call from the officials. But that was a great bit of buildup from the Rhinos. Inside, outside, and then the cross into the box. Diallo was taken down. Delicate right there, though. It's that touch that just exposes the ball. Arango goes for it. He's got to play bigger and shield the ball off there. Arango saw that little opening, and that's when he tried to sneak in and wins the foul.
So a free kick for the Impact. From their own 25, the keeper, Jordan, drives it out through midfield. Headed up in the air, down to the Rochester 18. That's knotted in the air outside the box at the near end by Pelguda. Then he'll volley it himself forward. High looper coming down at about the 40. Delicate flicks it toward the center circle. A collision there. Ball knocked to the outside of the near wing. As he's bumped by Pileski and a foul is called. It'll be a free kick for the Rhinos, their own side of midfield. Kraft and Pileski have been having a fun go at it here.
That's good. And Pelguda, don't forget, he threw a mix into the shot with Pileski. So that's going to be an interesting battle on this near side.
Out across midfield, spins out of bounds on the far side. So a throw in for the Impact. And from their own 20, off the left wing side, well, we're going to walk forward a good 10 yards. Vincella just keeps creeping forward. Finally, he'll play it into Testo as he's bothered there by Bolton, and the Impact hammer the ball out near midfield. Birch takes it away, drops it off on the outside for Aloisi. Off the right wing, ahead is Ambersley. In the middle, giving it off to Bolton. Works the left wing side, and ahead is Pelguda. 35 yards out, feed forward to Ambersley. Tips it down to the 18. Ball is through, but Diallo can't spin in behind to come away. And pouncing on it is the keeper, Jordan.
Very high energy, very spirited performance from the Rhinos early on. They've kept the play down in Montreal's half of the field.
Aloisi back with a whistle to stop play. We're going to have a yellow card being issued to Aloisi. What was that for?
He was tugging on the jersey of Di Lorenzo.
Well, it looked from previous instances that was okay tonight.
He changed his mind. But that's one thing Rochester's going to have to watch out for. They're doing a great job of attacking and applying the pressure. It's the tug on the jersey, the counterattack. It was Jertson, actually, who got tangled up with Aloisi. But Montreal, they can counterattack. Do some of the best counterattacks you're going to see in soccer.
Ball played back across midfield. Stepping up is Gervais. Right puts it downfield on the far wing, but headed aside, and the ball will spin out of bounds on the far wing. And a throw in for Montreal from their own 15.
Loera came in last week in the second half. I thought he did a great job. A nice physical presence for the Rhinos. I think he was a great pickup.
Run away out of the right side. Pelguda knocks it down, but Testa with a shot in goes wide right and out over the end line. So the Rhinos dodge a bullet there.
It's inside the 6. Maybe Vela wants to take a look at that, come off his line, catch or punch that. It's a little too close to the goal. Maybe a defender to be playing with a touch. Scott Pelguda's about 3 yards away when he touches that ball. One little miss hit. That's in the back of the net, own goal.
Okay, fans, the scoreboard is the Rhinos saying happy birthday to the whole bunch of Rhinos.
As Valo will kick it away out through midfield. Quick forward, spun away up in the air, but coming down across the midfield line. As Bolton in a collision with Becky, they battle for the ball and knock down his Birch, and he comes down on top of the ball. Becky, what a bull he is out there, knocking players every which direction.
He is, and actually he's slimmed down. He really, he's got a conditioning coach this year now, and I think it's really helped him moving off the ball, getting outside the 18.
Play to the right wing side, Aloisi. Back in the middle. There's taken by Bolton to the outside again for Aloisi. His feed forward to Embersley. Looking around, drops it back in the center circle for Birch. Off the left wing side, brought forward by Pelguda. As he'll sneak the ball forward, Menyanger dropping it back to Pelguda in the middle. Right-footed roller in, but goes wide left and out over the end line.
Good, energetic start from the Rhinos. Just players are moving off the ball. Tight marking. Pelguda's overlapping. This is good stuff from the Rhinos here early on.
So it's a corner kick for the Rhinos. First corner of the match. And who's going to take the corner? Looks like Menyanger.
trying to set up something short, asking for that 10-yard distance.
That is a short kick into Ambersley. Draws it along the near wing. Plays it on top for Kraft. Rolls it way out top, back near midfield for Palguda, giving it off to Bolton. 35 yards in the middle. He'll take a long chip up the right wing side. Handed away out of the box. Moving in underneath it once again is Bolton. Draws it back into the center circle. Palguda with it there. So that bit of set piece there, and the corner kick worked real well.
I don't understand. You're 2v2. You don't play that. You're 2v1. You take the short corner.
That's drawn away and tripped up and taken down. Ambersley. Free kick for the Rhinos. 22 yards out. Just a hair to the left of center.
And this is a good look now for the Rhinos. Montreal's defense in their run of play is just organized. They're sharp. They're very tight in the back. If the Rhinos are going to get one in early, this could be the opportunity here on the restart.
Menyonger. Well, he's there. So is Palguda. So still is Loera. And I'll tell you what, there's two players right there. They have bombs, and that's Palguda and Loera.
I'd like to see Loera take a look at that. He spent a lot of time with Chivas de Guadalajara. And I'd love to see what he can do.
Well, now he's moved away, so Palguda standing there, drops it off, and back to Palguda, trying to go through the wall, hits the midsection of somebody in the wall, and doubles him up. As the ball is brought back out top, dropped off by Bolton. He'll then turn it to the outside in the right wing. Left-footed kick down into the box, but headed away by Gervais. Coming down to the 25, Bolton nods it forward again along the near wing. Pulaski and underneath it, bothered there by Menyonger, who puts the ball out of bounds. It'll be a throw in on the near side for the Impact from their own 20.
The Rhinos, just a little more creativity needed on the free kick there, as Montreal giving them a great chance from 20, 25 yards out.
Drop back, Arango to Gervais, and on the left wing side for Vincello. Through midfield into Rhino territory. Dying up there, Ambersley, bothering Vincello at the midfield line as they battle. The ball knocked out of bounds, and that off of Ambersley. A throw into midfield for the Impact.
Vincello always with a few words for the official, walking about 5 or 6 yards towards the referee as he and Ambersley get tangled up on the far side. Vincello, very hard-nosed customer. He's upset he didn't get the call his way.
24th minute of Paytech and no score between the Rhinos and the Impact. Well, Montreal unbeaten this season when they score the first goal, but they're winless when they allow the opposition to score first. So that first goal seems to be very important to Montreal this year.
Huge. Pin them down, make them fight and come back. They're not a good team coming back. They're able to defend a lead and counterattack when they need to, but when they're down, they're forced to attack. And that's the weakness of this team.
Well, I guess that statistic would be evident when you have a team that scores so many 1-0 victories. You get the first goal, you win. Out through midfield comes Ambersley. Long kick down inside through the 18. Chasing after the near corner is Menyonger. As he and the Pulaski battle, that's popped up in the air and into the stands. Off of Pulaski, throw in for the Rhinos, down around the 10 on the left wing side. And now they're going to take it from about the 20. Palguda along the near side. He'll deliver down through the 18-yard box. Chased down to the far end by Ambersley. Spins back with the ball. Watch there by Vincello, double teamed, and drops it back to Aloisi, 35 yards out. Ball forward to Delicott. To the outside again, Ambersley. As it's tackled away, but that ball rolling off. A foul is called in the Impact, and a free kick for the Rhinos.
That's just payback from the earlier play there.
Ambersley slow getting up. Aloisi coming over, having a few words for the referee.
And Vincello came in with the studs up. He didn't get a call earlier against Ambersley. This is his way of evening the score.
25th minute. And it is scoreless here at Paytech. Each team so far with one shot is all. They have Kraft and Menyonger on the ball. Who's going to take the kick? Looks like Nate Kraft.
This is where Delicott just got to park himself right in the middle of the traffic. Be that huge presence.
And here's the delivery by Kraft. Down inside, it's flick and a goal. Oh, just wide of the left post. And in fact, breaking for the post was Burtz, and he caught it as he went out over the end line. There was a beautiful flick on and a great hit ball, however, just wide left.
That's the plays we're kind of talking about here. Play it into Delicott. He draws the crowd, and it's Diallo who's streaking in. That's just wide, and that's a great effort from Ahmed Diallo. Just wide of the post. He and Delicott. The crucial connection finally comes through.
And both Loera and Burtz were at the back post ready for the head ball, but it was wide, couldn't get to it.
That's one of the best set pieces we've seen from the Rhinos this season. Great stuff from Kraft, Deli, and Diallo.
Keeper Jordan sends it out to the midfield line. Kraft up, hits it back across midfield. Aguilar underneath it. It's knocked down and finally taken by Pulaski. Drops it back. That's played through midfield. Knocked away by Loera up into the stands on the near side, and a throw in for Montreal, 35 yards out on the near side.
I like Loera. He reads the game well. He's able to fight players off with the ball at his feet. He handles the pressure. He's a good pickup.
Push forward now at midfield. Menyonger to Birch, tips it forward. Diallo in behind, trying to get away. What's this? A half hour after the fact, the offside flag goes up.
That is a hesitant, unsure referee's assistant. He was jogging. They said, I better make the call.
News 1040 WYSL Avon Rochester.
Tough call.
Free kick for Montreal on the far side. Ball dropped off in the middle where it's taken by Gervais. Dropping it back. Once again, giving it off to the keeper, Jordan. Return pass. Gervais moving out to the 35, and then he'll right-foot it all the way down. Loera back to head it away out through the far end of the box. Chased after there by Aloisi with the right foot. Will hammer it high in the air toward midfield. Diallo back. Off his head ball knocked away, and it's picked up once again by the impact. Immediately chipped away by Loera. Off the foot of Becky, and out on the near wing. It's brought away by Kraft to midfield for the Rhinos. Giving it off to Bolton, approaching the midfield circle. Bolton turns it to the outside of the right wing for Aloisi. 27th minute at Paytech, no score. Off with it, Bolton. Ambersley at midfield. Turns it through the center circle. Being watched by Becky. Now spins, trying to get away. Again to the outside for Aloisi on the right wing. Has it 40 yards out. Aloisi pass. Ambersley at midfield. Loera will switch it off on the left wing side to Palguda. Moves it across the midfield line and on the attack. Palguda's pass off in the middle for Delicott. Got away from him, tried to tip it back, but too much on it. And it's taken away by the impact. Stepping in Bolton, running into Gotti, but still the impact with the ball. Arango at his own 18, turns it to the outside on the left wing for Vincello. Off in the far corner. Vincello dropping it back for Gervais. Has it to the far corner of the 18, to the outside again for Vincello. Takes a look. Off the left wing side, a feet ahead, push toward the middle, stepping in Loera, knocks it away, and the Rhinos have it. Diallo drops it off for Ambersley. Looking for the ball through. Delicott, one touch off to Loera. As he is double teamed, the ball is knocked away. Pulled away in outfield by Gotti. Loera coming back, or that's Jertson rather. Dropped to the outside for Di Lorenzo, and the impact still with the ball in their own end of the field. Vincello at the midfield, stubbing up his Birch. And Birch and Becky had gotten tangled up. Foul is called on Becky behind the play, and the Rhinos have the restart.
Definitely tangled up, but let Birch go forward. He did a great job. He's got possession. Let's play the advantage.
To the outside on the near wing for Kraft, dropping it back at midfield. On away, Palguda pulling it forward to the 35. Drops it off for Bolton. His pass off into the middle for Ambersley. Back near midfield, Palguda. Plays it back across midfield. Birch to Palguda again on the outside of the left wing. To Ambersley, turns it upfield. Looking for the through ball. A hit from Menyonger along the near wing. As the offside flag is in the air. The ball never went in behind the defender.
That was close. I mean, the Diallo one we saw was definitely offsides, but I thought Menyonger was definitely in onside position. I think one big thing we're seeing tonight is we're not seeing Jertson and Di Lorenzo have all sorts of space to run around the field, create havoc. They've been marked very tight. It's been a good job early on.
Play downfield. Loera nods it forward. Testo coming back on the ball. Becky for the impact to the outside of the near wing for Pulaski. Chips it down to the 18. Aloisi is there to head it away. As Kraft is knocked over, but no call is made on Testo, and the pass up the right wing side again for Jertson. Pass at the Rochester 20, working toward the middle, gets a bump but gets away. Pass in the middle is picked off by Menyonger. The Rhinos have it. A Menyonger long service out through midfield. Diallo running onto the ball, settles it down to the right toe. Has it 35 yards out off the far side. Catching up Bolton. Pass over the middle for Bolton. He could have kept going, but passed to the outside. Not forward, Aloisi. To the outside on the right wing, Delicott looking for the cross. Rolling ball picked off. Gets it back again. Down inside of the 6 and headed away up in the air. Comes out the near end of the 18. Right footed out toward midfield. Kraft stepping on the ball. Goes down, gets back up and has it. Hips it down inside the 18. That's headed away by Gervais on the far wing and carried away by the impact. Off of the middle of the Testo, back to the left wing side for Di Lorenzo. Won't get to it as Loera, his own side of midfield, gets to the ball. Plays it back to Vallo. Vallo stepping out, first timing it away and across midfield. As
this guy with the flag.
There's got to be a good 10 yards the defenders are in behind. What's that all about?
What is he calling?
Got to be kidding me. Right away now. As the Rhinos take it back, Delicott from the 30 to the 25, turns to the right foot. At the far end of the 18, looking for a cross. Double team, drops it back in the middle, blocked away and out of bounds on the far side to throw in for the Rhinos.
A little too slow to make his decision there. Delicott Could have gone quickly to Diallo or Menyanger, laid it off at the top of the 18. And Menyanger was wide open, but Delicott a little slow on the decision there.
Actually, the offside call was never called, right?
No, he put it down finally.
Yeah. You know, I can't believe it. There had to be the ball was at least 10 yards away from reaching two defenders even.
He's been off the mark. I think he's a little out of position, and then he's trying to catch up to the play. That's where he's getting stuck.
There was a card issued, wasn't it?
Yeah, Vincello.
All right, the yellow issued here in the 32nd minute to Vincello.
And Vincello had some words earlier at midfield for the referee. This time, a little too much for the referee's liking.
So the Rhinos will have the free kick off the right wing corner. And it'll be just as good as a corner kick. 3 or 4 yards in from the corner.
Look at the options, Loera, Delicott, Burtz, Bolton, some big boys to pick from.
Menyanger will be taking the kick.
Oh.
And the linesman makes him back the ball up 6 inches.
That's ridiculous. He's just too involved. Get off the field.
Here's Menyanger, sends it down inside. Head ball up over top of the crossbar. Header taken, but too high. And it looked like it came from Delicott.
Sure did. Matthew Delicott did a great job just to get stuck in there. He's going to sacrifice his head. There's bodies, there's traffic. And that's what you need from the big man. You need Delicott to do that kind of work. And Diallo, he's the guy who's going to feed off of him and do some more of the creative stuff.
Out on the near wing by Jordan, then fed through midfield. On the midfield line, picked up there by Testo in the center circle to Gotti. And stepping in to take it away is Ambersley. Drawing it forward to the 35, goes to the outside up the left wing and running onto the ball is Nate Kraft. As he turns, bumped off the ball by Pileski, but chasing after it, still has it. Pileski knocks it out. Throw in for the Rhinos. On the near wing, throw into Palguda. Trying to sneak it through, but that's blocked away by Arango, and a foul is called on Menyanger. So a free kick for the Impact. Sponsors of these broadcasts include Nextel, Power Up, Cintas, the service professionals. Discover what Cintas can do for your organization. And by Zweigels, the official hot dog at Paytech Park.
That was an interesting foul there. Menyanger didn't even go to play the ball. He just said, I'm going to shove this guy and slow things down and we'll regroup. But overall, energetic, exciting performance from the Rhinos so far.
33rd minute, now 34th, no score here at Paytech. Jordan delivers through midfield, coming down to the Rochester 40, flick forward, picked up at his own 25 by Aloisi. Right-footed out through midfield in the far wing, Diallo battling Vincello. And Vincello knocks it down. Back to help out Di Lorenzo. Drops it back to his defender, Gabe Gervais. And a pass toward the middle for Testo. Return pass to Gervais. Right foots it out through the center circle. Burtz is there to head it away to the outside. Palguda first timing it up in the air, coming down to the center circle. Bolton with a flick out of midfield. Menyanger heads it forward. Underneath him, Menyanger gets away with the ball. Turning back. She's double teamed. Drops it off his own side of midfield. Palguda to the outside for Kraft. Dropping it back once again. Palguda has it. As he's watched closely by Pileski. Now plays it back to the keeper, and Vallo will take it just inside of his 18. To the outside on the right wing. Loera switching to the back to the near side of the field for Burtz. Moving up the left wing side and a feed forward for Menyanger. He's run over as play goes on. As Pileski stepping in, Menyanger steps in and puts the right foot into the leg of Pileski. Takes him down on a bit of a... Okay, here's a payback.
Yeah, it's got a little loosey-goosey by the official here. Pileski took down Menyanger earlier, and as Donnie mentioned, just a payback. There's no intent to play the ball there from Gotti, and it's Pileski who catches the second half of the trouble from Johnny Menyanger.
The referee, Nico Bratsis, his assistant, Steve Montanino, and Jacob Wickham, and the fourth official is Andrew Evangelos. It's served up by Aguilar, or make that Arango. Inside the box, but headed in the air now. Down at the 20, as Testo's taken down by Bolton, then it's played out to midfield for Diallo. Turns back, drops it off, Ambersley in the middle, out to Menyanger. Turns to the outside, up the left wing for Kraft and across the midfield line, overlapping Palguda. But the ball tackled away, still kept in play along the near side. As you know what? Montreal complaining about that call. I'd have to agree with him, as I don't think the ball ever went out.
Don, I'm surprised you agree with Montreal, but I agree with you. That definitely was not over the line. It's got to be completely over the line.
All right, so it's been a tough night so far for the gentleman in red.
What is going on? The referee and his assistant are talking, and now it's Montreal throw. This is a unique situation.
Well, Montreal not quite sure if it's a throw-in or a kick. Finally, they take the throw-in. Testo spinning off of the ball. That's knocked loose in the center circle for Gotti. Impact with it on the attack to the left wing side for Vintello. 36 minute and no score. As forward, Jurtson tied up with Lorera. They both go down. The ball brought away by the Rhinos. Bolton spins it off to his right for Ambersley. Right back to Bolton. Turns it now on the near wing for Palguda from his own 35. To the outside on the near wing. Kraft dropping it back again for Palguda. He's chased there by Becky. Draws it away on the near side and a long chip to the left wing side. Delicott trying to get to it, but Arango steps in the way. A ball rolling to the end line. Arango plays it down inside the box for Gervais. And Delicott challenges Gervais to the outside again for Arango. On the near wing, will right footed out through midfield. Becky tangling up with Birch, and Birch plays it across midfield. Palguda backheel. Kraft on the near side to Menyunger. Has it 35 yards out, trying to get away, but grabbed onto. Drops off in the near wing for Palguda. Toward the middle for Bolton. Pass ahead, but stuffing into intercept. That's taken away by Gotti and across midfield. Rhinos take it right back. Loera, a long chip up the left wing, but nobody will get to that one as that hops out of bounds. A throw in for the Impact from their own 18 on the near side.
Too much on the near side here. The Rhinos have got to open it up, switch the run of play. A little too tight on this near side.
Really? I thought there was so much action going on the far side of the field.
Really?
It seems like almost every play is off to Aloisi.
In that last stretch.
Oh, yeah. Right on the near side. Palguda on the left wing for Kraft. Turning it back. Ambersley up the left wing for Palguda. And a return pass in the middle of the give and go. Now it's Ambersley down inside the box trying to get away from De Lorenzo. In the end line. Ambersley still battling in the end line. It's knocked away out over the end line by the Impact. And a corner kick. Oh, no. You got to be kidding me. He was kicked out of bounds by the Impact, but the referee says, oh, sorry, it's a goal kick.
You know,
sponsors of these broadcasts include Power Trip. Get in the game, Mr. Referee. And World Jam. Real jams, real people, and real results. And by Auction Direct. For your next car, log on to auctiondirect.com.
Just going to say, there's such intensity when Rochester and Montreal meet. The last thing you want is an official to really be a huge factor in the game, and Bratsis is very indecisive on that last call.
Here's the keeper, Jordan, out to midfield. Handed away across midfield by Kraft out on the near side, in underneath of Diallo, but the ball skips away out of bounds. So in for Montreal. No score in the game. We're in the 38th minute. Cross midfield. Drop back along the midfield line and now played up the right wing side. After it, Palguda deep in the corner. Pileski watching him. Palguda with a left foot drives it up the near side. That's flicked toward midfield by Kraft. Diallo's taken down. Play goes on. It's dropped off Delicott. Now Ambersley up the left side to Kraft. Trying to catch up. Ambersley and Delicott. And it's a return pass right back to Kraft. Drops it off in the middle. Taken there by Bolton. Right foots it to the far side to Aloisi. Draws it ahead to the outside. Menyunger up the right wing. 35 yards out once again. Turning back. Drops it off at the midfield line for Alfonso Loera. Out of Mexico, dropping it off in the center circle for Birch. He'll move through the forwards and bring it forward up to the 35. Looking for the through ball for Diallo. Turned as it skipped away off his left foot, played out of the near side for Kraft. Has it 35 yards out, off in the middle. Hammersley touching it back at midfield. Palguda chased behind by Becky as the ball gets away on the near side. Palguda and Pileski collide. Ball out of bounds. A foul was called and a free kick for Montreal.
Yeah, Palguda coming in with the hard challenge, and Becky hit some words for his former teammate. We'll see if there's anything developing there.
Off the near wing on the right side, tipped down inside, but getting back Loera, able to get the left foot on it to knock the pass away. The Rhinos have it. Birch to the outside on the right wing for Menyunger. Rhinos leading in shots 3-1, but there's no score on the board as of yet.
But I really think their containment of Joey Jurtson has been excellent. They've done a great job of slowing Jurtson down, not letting him run free all over the park.
Cross midfield, turn to the outside of the far wing once again. As the ball played off on the far wing is brought forward, and here come the Rhinos on the attack. Turn to the outside, Aloisi cross down inside the 18, but that's headed away and out top. Nodded up in the air. As the ball coming down at midfield, played back into the center circle, and pushed into Rhino territory on the right wing side after goes Jurtson. Out the right wing, chased there by Loera, slides in and knocks the ball away and out of bounds. So throw it on the right wing side for the Impact.
Loera is really showing his worth here. Central defender slides all the way over to the near flank. Nice textbook slide tackle. Out of play. The Rhinos set up their defense.
Aguilar sends it down inside and picked up a one hop at his 6 by Vallo. So the Impact finally getting the ball down inside the 18. And for Montreal, it's been a bit of a different story here tonight. They have not been able to get much on the ball. Vallow through midfield. Headed away to the outside along the near wing. Push forward. Kraft chips it down inside, but headed away out top again. Stepping in, Testo to knock it aside. Aguilar right foots it in the air off of the near wing, but shanked it out of bounds. So a throw in across midfield for the Rhinos.
About 4 minutes left. It'd be great to see the Rhinos get one on the board, going to the locker room with a nice 1-0 lead. They've definitely had the better of play here, and it's just about energy and excitement. They've come out trying to prove a point here to Montreal. They're tired of losing to this team.
Calguna through midfield. Ambersley to Kraft, but his pass forward is tipped aside and carried away by the impact. DiLorenzo to the outside of the left wing, brought forward to midfield. Vincello, long feed downfield. One bounce at the 18, grabbed by Vallow. He'll roll it to the outside along the near wing. It's carried forward by Palguda. Turn, looks around, drops it ahead. Now at midfield for Ambersley, and up the left wing side. Kraft getting to it just in time to keep it in. On the near wing, challenged there by Pileski. Grabbed onto, trying to get away along the near touch line. Pileski goes down and takes Kraft with him. Pileski gets back up, has the ball, and no call is made. Aguilar in the middle. DiLorenzo to the left wing side for Vincello. Here come the impact again across midfield. DiLorenzo on the attack. Into Rhino territory. Turns it to the outside. Loera stepping in, but DiLorenzo gets away. Long high cross. That is out over everything, out over the end line, out of the ballpark. And it'll be a goal kick for the Rhinos. Other sponsors of these broadcasts tonight include Health Source Chiropractic, located at 90 Erie Canal Drive in the Canal Park Medical Complex. By Best Volvo, where style, safety, and all-wheel drive come together. And by Harrow East Athletic Club on the web at harroweast.com.
I think it's a battle of the supporters clubs tonight as the Rhino Stampede with the black and white kit waving in the stands, taking on the Ultra for great support from both sides.
Cross midfield on the near side as it's dropped back. Kraft to Bolton. Out of the near wing, carried forward. Palguda through midfield. It's across midfield to Becky. As he turns back, Bolton takes it away as Becky was knocked down to a knee. Bolton with a chip forward. That's headed in the air on the near side, and moving in underneath it goes Menyonger. 43rd minute, still no score here at Paytech. Drop back at the 35, Bolton with it. Lays it back to the center circle. Taken there by Loera. Drawing it forward, Loera from 35 yards out. Feet in the middle for Bolton, right back to Loera. Pass ahead, still at the same spot, little triangle there with Ambersley. Back to Loera. Turns it to the outside of the right wing, and it's carried forward by Aloisi. Out the right wing to the 35, down to the 30. To the 25, Aloisi to the outside, far corner for Delicott. Drops it back in the middle. Aloisi tripped up and taken down to the far end of the box, and is picked up at the end line by the impact. No call made. Montreal away with the ball. DiLorenzo pass to the center circle. Becky bumped away. Kraft for the Rhinos, dropping it back for Birch. Pass ahead, Ambersley spinning around on the right wing, approaching the midfield line. Off in the center circle for Bolton. On the attack and through midfield. Bolton looks around. Dropping it off. Ambersley moving in underneath it. Lays it out of the left wing side for Palguda. Up the near wing for Kraft. Dropping it back for Palguda again. At midfield, leaves it there for Bolton. Draws it forward. Checking back. Menyonger. Away on the near wing, back near midfield. Taken by Palguda. He turns, fakes a shot, now moves it forward. Pass ahead for Ambersley. Popped up in the air. Coming down to 25, spins ahead, and that's headed away. Gotti dropping it back for Vincello, and the impact with the ball. Vincello to the outside on the near wing. As we're now in the 45th minute here at Paytech. Up the right wing side. Pileski near midfield. Dropping it back. Taken there by Aguilar and right-footed out through midfield. In underneath with Loera. Header, but up into the stands, out of play. And a throw in on the near side, near midfield for the impact.
Last week at this time, Becky had 2 goals in the 9th and 35th. The Reynolds have figured out to tighten up his mark as Burtz and Loera have contained him. And Jertson, again, just has not been that little terror up and down the field.
Arango plays it back to the keeper, and boy, he just about gave it away to Delicott, who was pressuring, but all he could do was put it up into the stands. Throw in on the near side for Kraft. Throw in short to Menyonger, checking back on it. Has it 35 yards out, spins toward the middle, looks for the through ball, but that's knocked away again. Testo up with the ball for the impact. Dropping it back to the outside on the near wing. It's right-footed out through midfield by Pileski. And chased down in the center circle by the Rhinos. Aloisi, high volley up the left wing side. Back. Aguilar letting it roll near the end line. And as it approaches the end line, Aguilar with the ball will drive it out. But Menyonger picks it off. Off in the middle for Delicott. At the 20, spinning. Right-footed shot, diving for the ball at the right post. Is the keeper. Jordan comes down with it and holds on.
1 minute of stoppage time, and that would have been a wonderful way to end the half for the Rhinos. Daly got some space at the top of the 18. Ball's played in. That's a good job just to quickly turn and hit. He senses there's no pressure from behind. Good diving save by Jordan, but good look at the goal for Delicott.
Ball flighted out to midfield. Birch shanks it off the outside of his foot. It does move across midfield, knocked down to the midfield line, and picked up again by the impact. Arango goes long to the left wing side, underneath the Di Lorenzo on the far touchline as we go east-west here in a lot of this game. Right forward at midfield, off in the center circle for Testo. He'll drop it off and play it across midfield. As to Becky, moving in on the ball now. Testo out the right side, back heel for Pileski, lays it off at the 30. Then Younger watching. That's knocked loose momentarily. Kraft moving in is bumped, and the whistle blows, and there's the end of the first half of play. So, most of the action between the 30s, as we didn't get a whole lot of shots. The Rhinos did lead in shots in that half, but you know what? The Rhinos had the edge in play in that first half of play.
Yeah, they had the edge of play, they had the run of play, I thought. But the energy, the excitement level, I think, is something that's there tonight that we haven't seen in a bit from the Rhinos. And good to see them marking up tight on Becky and Jertson, so they've figured that situation out.
So tonight, the Rhinos and the Impact are going at it here. Montreal with an opportunity to move into first place here in the overall standing, so they have to win that in order to do so. All right, let's send you downstairs now. Soccer Sam, take it away, Sammy.
All right, John, how you doing? Thanks, Don. Joey. Hey, baby, I'm here live with Hamed Diallo. My man, you are the team MVP. You got to be honored to do that.
Yeah, I'm very happy to be MVP in this team. But it's not finished. The objective today is to win this game, because the game is very important for Rhinos.
Very important for our playoff race here. Now, Ahmed, you got third leading scorer in the league tonight. You get 3 goals. You're going to be the number 1 leading scorer in the league. You got to get 3 goals tonight. Is that going to happen in the second half? Can you do it?
Yeah, it's not finished. The team play well. Everybody work hard to win this game. I think second half I want to score.
He's going to score. Now, we have people watching this in Montreal. They speak French. Could you give them a little bit of the French stuff? Oui, oui. Can you do it? Tell them how we're going to beat Montreal in French.
Yeah, je salue tout le Montréal. Et je viens de la France et souvent ça me fait plaisir d'attendre le français autour de moi.
All right. Football Frenchie here. Let's go back up to Don and Joe.
And Sam, I'm sure that you understood exactly what he said there, eh, Sammy? All right, so Ahmed Diallo is the team MVP this season, and a great year he's had, and certainly looking to get back on the scoring side of things here tonight. We're at the half at Paytech Park in Montreal. There's no score between the Rhinos and the Impact, and this is the Rhinos Broadcast Network. Paytech Park, our location tonight for the season finale between the Rhinos and the Impact. And as we look at the statistics from the first half, which are brought to you by Time Warner, get all-in-one digital cable, Roadrunner digital phone, one simple package, one low price. And not a whole lot to statistically talk about in that first half of play. As the scoring, there was none. No scoring in the game. The shots, Rhinos did have the edge in shots, 4-1. Rochester out shooting Montreal 4 shots to 1. Corner kicks, each team had 1. Offsides, the Rhinos twice and Montreal not offside. And fouls in that first half, each team had 9. So there were plenty of fouls as far as the game was concerned. Saves in the game, 1 save credited to Jordan, and Scott Ballo for the Rhinos has not had a save as of yet. So that's where we're at now at the end of a half, as the Rhinos meeting the Montreal Impact for the 4th and final time this season. We'll be back with our interesting guest in a moment from Paytech. Again, it is scoreless at the half between the Rhinos and Montreal, and this is the Rhinos Broadcast Network. The Rochester Rhinos are heading into the 2007 USL First Division playoffs. Don't miss any of the Rhinos playoff action as they look to advance to the USL First Division finals. Call 454-KICK or check out rhinosoccer.com for playoff dates and times. Tickets are available at the Paytech Park box office, Ticketmaster.com, or call 232-1900 to charge by phone. Come see why we are Soccer Town, USA. Paytech Park tonight is our location for game 28 of the season. I'm Don Stevens here at the half, and there's no score between the Rhinos and the Montreal Impact. And time now for our intermission interview, which is brought to you by Connolly Printing, the official printer of the Rhinos. Alongside now, I know he'd much rather be out on the field, but he has been a bad boy and has been suspended for a game, and that is John Ball. And John, of course, it's yellow card accumulations. How many yellow cards is that? Any idea?
5 cards. I got
5 cards total?
Yeah, 5 total.
And a 1-game suspension.
Yeah.
Now, that's your first suspension this year, right?
Yes.
So you've really calmed down over the years, because ordinarily this time of year would be about your third, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I'd probably be a 2-game suspension by now, but yeah, I'm happy it's 1 game. I'm happy it's at the end of the year and not, picking up a silly yellow tonight and missing the playoffs. So it's better I miss this game and, get an extra week of rest to go into the playoffs.
Well, I guess that's true, too. Now you've got a clean slate going into the playoffs.
Exactly. I think everybody does now, so, it just brings you more of the playoff intensity that we can have now.
Now, you mentioned the word intensity, and congratulations to you for receiving the award tonight for dedication, determination. An outstanding award and very well deserved. Congratulations.
Thank you, Don. Thank you. Yeah, it's an honor to get the award. I know Greg Howes has got it, and with the other Rhinos who's got it, it's just be nice to be in the same class.
Well, certainly you've been a class act here, and your return to Rochester, has it been what you had hoped?
I would like to have that ring, but that's the fun of playing, and. Unfortunately, we lost it last year, and hopefully this year we can put it together for the next month and win one for the fans.
Well, I was talking about you were here before, then gone, then back. Is your second stint here in Rochester been better than the first time around?
Oh yeah, it's been night and day. I'm a lot happier here. I get along better with the coaching staff and the front office. So I'm happy to be back, and I wish I never left, but under those circumstances I had to.
Of course, you got to see a little bit of what it's like to be with other teams, too, though.
Yeah, it's not very nice to come back here and be called a reject, but it was interesting coming back here and playing against all the guys that were your teammates and who some of them were still my teammates at the same time playing indoor. It's the Scotties and the Tommies and guys I have a lot of respect for, Lennon and Vallo, and it was tough at first to come back, but after the first year, you kind of just get used to it.
We'll continue our conversation in just a moment with John Ball of the Rhinos at the half here at Paytech Park. It's scoreless between Rochester and Montreal, and this is the Rhinos Broadcast Network. Paytech Park tonight, the Rhinos and the Montreal Impact. At the half, it is scoreless. I'm Don Stevens. Alongside right now is Rhinos midfielder John Ball. And John, I've been pretty impressed with the play of the Rhinos so far tonight. I thought they played an excellent game so far.
Yeah, me too. I think we're knocking the ball well. We're getting stuck in, and we're playing well. We're not out of 50-50 balls. Unfortunately, we missed that free kick that Nate hit in. Diallo just missed it. But, hopefully it's one of those typical Rhino Montreal games where we pull it out in the end.
4-1 is all the shots that's been taken in the game so far. A lot of midfield play.
Yeah, it looks like they're going a lot of east to west instead of north to south. And, granted, we got Nate Kraft on the left midfield, who's probably never played left midfield in his life, but if he could just, get forward a little bit more and opens up that little hole for Deli and Diallo, hey, we could sneak one out.
Of course, they call you the old man now. You've been around for a couple of years, and boy, you look just as young as ever. Still got a lot of years left in that body there, don't you?
Oh yeah, for sure. I try to take care of myself for as much as possible, and as long as I can walk and run, I'll play soccer.
You going back to indoor again?
Yeah, I'm going to take a time off, probably a month off, and then go back to indoor, go back to Chicago for the winter time, hibernate, just keep myself fit and sharp for next season.
Which is tougher now, the indoor or the outdoor?
You know what? Honestly, probably the first week of outdoor, but after you get your fitness, I think they're both easy.
Okay, which one do you have fun at the most?
Don, you're killing me, man. I just love playing soccer. Don't matter what it is. Indoors a little more crazier with the walls and a lot harder shots at a closer range, but outdoor is a natural game, so I guess I have to say outdoor.
Yeah. I can really see where indoor would help the ball control for the outdoor game. Especially close in, when you got a player on you, you're more used to that tightness.
Yeah, you know what? When you first come outdoor from indoor, your first touch is so clean and so sharp on your foot that when you look up, you're shocked on how much space and time you have. So, it helps your game a little bit, but the fitness part is the only thing that kills you.
Yeah. All right, so what do the Rhinos need to do here in this one?
I just think we need to, get a couple more penetrating runs from Ambo and Jaimin Younger. and maybe find Deli or Diallo up top and break it through the holes, and get one and we'll score one.
You win this game tonight, you'll play Atlanta in the first round. How would this team stack up, do you feel, now with Atlanta?
I think, the last time we played Atlanta, I think we had 7 or 8 rookies start. And, we took a thumping, and that's what happens when you go through injuries. But I think we stack up well. Kenny hasn't played against Atlanta at all. Alfonso's having a great game tonight.
Yeah,
and I
good,
think, his composure on the ball and his leadership in the back is, can carry us. And, as long as Deli and Diallo start clicking within the next week, I think we got a good chance against anybody.
All right, Johnny, thanks so much for coming up. Congratulations on your award and a great season. And next, be looking for you out on the field next game.
All right, boss.
All right,
Take
thanks.
care.
Johnny Ball of the Rhinos. This will continue from Frontier Field in a moment. There, from Paytech Park in a moment. There is no score at the half between the Rhinos and the Impact, and this is the Rhinos Broadcast Network. Montreal looking to come up with a victory here tonight as they would then move into first place overall in the standings. If they do not win this game, they cannot finish first for the third straight year in a row. And so Montreal has to win this game in order to finish first. The Rhinos trying to hold on to fifth spot, as they can do no better than fifth in the league this year, as they would battling Puerto Rico and Vancouver for the 5th, 6th, and 7th positions, as we still are looking for positioning for both teams as far as the playoffs are concerned. No scoring in the first half of play, and again the Rhinos outshooting the Impact by a 4-1 margin in that first half. Here in the second half, the Rhinos now will be shooting in the net to our right, and Scott Dallow in goal down to our left. As looking it over, and I don't see any changes on the pitch as far as players are concerned. Scott Dallow has, of course, made a strong bid since coming back from his injury. Has played 5. This is his 6th game back. However, a 3-2-0 record. He was doing very well. First 3 games, he had 3 shutouts, but then the last 2 games against Montreal, losing both of those, so has a 3-2-0 record in his return from his injury. Rhinos will be taking the kickoff to start the second half. And the Delicate Diallo combination up front, getting ready for the kickoff. No scoring in that first half of play. Really, neither team had a whole lot of opportunities. Here we go now in the second half. Ball is taken from the kickoff by the Rhinos, dropping it back in the middle for Burtz. Looking around, he'll lay it off for Loera, the central defender, Alfonso Loera. Again, his first start as a Rhino. To the outside, Alfonso, bolting up the near wing, Embersley, dropping it back, Aloisi, right foots it out through midfield. In underneath the Delicate, pops it up in the air, drawing it down to the 20. Trying to get away is Arango. He nods to the side for Aguilar, and the ball is controlled by Vincello. Booted out to midfield, but Aloisi steps up. However, his header is picked up by Di Lorenzo, and the ball carried away by Testo of the Impact. Chased from behind by Bolton, who's trying to hook on, but can't get a hold of him. And spinning around, Testo from 20. Left-footed, knocked down to the 18. Burt starting up with the ball. Turns and boots it away. Off over the end line. A corner kick for the Impact, or what's the call here? Everybody looking around the referee. What's going on?
Yeah, Scotty Vale and Kenny Burtz have a gripe here. There's just no way you can ride up the back of a player and prevent him from knocking the ball out of play there. Testo takes a good look, takes a hard shot. Burtz does a nice job to deflect it. He definitely gets tangled up. And that's got to be a call coming out in Rhino's favor.
Corner kick off the left wing side. It's taken by Jertson. Very dangerous. He has 5 assists since coming over in that trade from Vancouver. 5 assists with Montreal. As one of those assists against the Rhinos. Low into the box. That's blocked away and outside. On the near wing, a left-footed kick in for the back post. Head ball up in the air. And it goes wide out over the end line. They did get the ball finally into Becky, but he heads it wide.
Yeah, Don, it's still night and day, though. The defensive marking with Becky, he just didn't have an easy square look at the goal. There was 3 players all over him. And that's one thing the Rhinos have come in tonight and done a great job of just shutting down those open looks for Charles Becky.
So a goal kick for the Impact. No score here at Paytech. Jordan right foots it out, but coming down to the midfield line. Bolton tried to get up for it, but ended up flicking it. Well, he did look for the flick on as the ball played down inside the 18. Jordan has to hustle and drives it away out to midfield. Aloisi steps up, blocks it forward to Embersley, but got away from him. Blocked away, Testo, had his arm grabbed by Embersley, and a foul is called. So it's a free kick for Montreal.
Aloisi, to me, he could be also a candidate for maybe the second comeback player of the year award. He really started off, had a very shaky season. I love the way he's come back. He times his runs beautiful on the header there. And I think he's really turned around his whole season.
Gervais sends it through midfield. Here's a pass off in the middle, trying to break through. Gotti off on the left wing side. Here's Becky, roller along the 6, but the Rhinos get to it. And it's driven out of bounds on the near side. Offside against the impact anyway.
That's the first look that Becky's had with some space, but the trap works well. Becky's offsides. No harm for the Rhinos defense.
Free kick for the Rhinos from their own 18 to be taken by Vallow. 48th minute and no score.
A great ball, though, from Jertson in to Simon Gotti. And that's where Jertson, he just can find those little pockets, those little places to feed the ball that most players don't even know exist.
Diallo right foots it out through midfield. As it is over top of Delicott. Diallo heads it down, but Delicott had moved the other way, and so nobody's there. Brought through midfield. Pass on the near wing. Aloisi steps in behind to play it aside, and on the near wing is blocked away and out of bounds off of the impact, so a throw in for the Rhinos. Aloisi at midfield. Gains a few yards. Looking for the throw in. Still looking around. Gains a couple of more yards. Now with the throw in along the near touchline. Vincello able to bike it back to midfield. Off the chest of Becky. Pushing it to the outside. Ambersley heads it aside for Aloisi. Right foots it out through midfield. Diallo able to flick it forward, but nobody there. Turning back for it goes Arango for the impact. Spinning to get away from Delicott. Turning back in the middle. Left foots it out to midfield. Ambersley head ball, but comes the wrong way on the near side off the right foot of Aloisi and out. Throwing on the near side for Montreal. To be taken at midfield by Vincello.
Vincello, Di Lorenzo. Vincello loves to overlap down the left side. He's kind of stayed home tonight. I think he's kind of been forced into that role. A little more marking responsibility with Diallo and Deli.
Vincello with 2 goals this season. Long service out through midfield into Rhino territory. Palguda back with the left foot, able to spin it out across midfield. Delicott in underneath it. And a collision with Arango. That's blocked forward, then deflected aside. Ben Younger turning back for the ball. Lays it to the outside. Kraft couldn't get to it. That's played back at midfield. And Palguda steps up at his pass onto the foot of Kraft and out of bounds. Throw in on the far side for the impact. Through midfield into Rhino territory for Becky. As he's bumped there by Loera, the ball rolls out. And off of the impact, so a throw in for the Rhinos from their own 40.
You know, the young players watching, that's just great defending from Loera. He's just got the body tight up to Becky. He's forcing Becky into a bad touch there. And Loera, I really, really like what I see from him.
Played back in the middle and hammered up into the stands by Gervais, so it'll be a throw in on the far side for the Rhinos. Still, it comes down to, it's very unfortunate for the Rhinos that they're coming into the last game of the season and seeing one of the potential playoff players seeing his first start ever in uniform for the team.
You know, with the visa paperwork and all that other nonsense, it's taken care of now. Loera's just got to give what he's got and take the Rhinos as far as they can.
Out through the near end of the box, picked up by Vincello and a roller ahead. Turning back for Testo. Dropped off in the middle, getting to a Diallo. We'll switch it off on the left wing side. In underneath it, Kraft from 25 yards out. Can't do anything. Pass off on the near side for Bolton. Nice spin around, but the ball finally, he gets it right back. Bolton lays it out on the left wing side and Palguda away. He'll draw it down to the 35, the 40. It draws it off into the middle for Manyanger, spinning around. Through ball, sneaking it off in the middle for Ambersley, pushing it through, trying to get away, and almost got it back, but that's picked off by the impact. Out of the near side, Jertson lays it off in the middle for Gotti, drawing it forward out to midfield. Gotti being challenged from behind by Bolton, who steps in and knocks it away. Nice job. Nice tackle there by Bolton. Back in the center circle, Manyanger, long to the left wing side. Delicott trying to get underneath it, but that's picked off up midair off the toe of Aguilar. And he's pulled over from behind by Delicott, and a foul is called.
Aguilar coming over from the California Victory, where he played 19 games. He just joined Montreal at the trade deadline. He's really found a home on the outside of defense.
Well, you look at the job that Montreal has done since that trade deadline. They've had only 1 loss. I think 7 wins and a loss or something since they came up with all of those players, Testo and Jertson and Aguilar and Gotti and
Roberto Brown. How
yeah.
Vancouver lets the 2006 MVP get away, especially tall teams Montreal. It's just incredible. Very, very mind-boggling to say the least.
Yeah, Montreal missing Roberto Brown, who's off of the Panamanian national team. That's flicked down inside the 18 and taken off the roll by the keeper, Jordan. Throws it out on the near side. Vincello after it. 53rd minute of Paytech and no score. Di Lorenzo dropping it back through the middle. And underneath it is Arango. Pass forward out to near midfield. Drop back, Pileski on the far wing, and Aguilar through midfield. On the run is Gotti. Being watched there by Menyonger, pulling it down to the Rochester 25, and Menyonger steps in to take it away. Nice job there. Menyonger just held his ground, didn't go for the fake.
Just great stuff. Menyonger, I love his touch on the ball now, showing some great defensive work. Menyonger is just a joy to watch.
Hammered back into Montreal territory, but picked up by the Impact defense. Off into the center circle, Di Lorenzo across midfield. To the outside of the near wing, in underneath it is Di Lorenzo. And to Rhino territory now, being watched there by Embersley. Pass off toward the middle. That's taken and turned upfield by Jertson. To the outside again, running onto the ball deep in the corner is Di Lorenzo. Aloisi over to cover. High cross down inside the box, up in the airs. Rochester had a player knocked out of the box and a foul is called. Well, there was Kraft that was bowled over at the 6, so a foul is called. Free kick for the Rhinos. Sponsors of these broadcasts tonight include Phoenix Graphics for all your printing needs. Food Link, Abundance Shared. And by Connors and Ferris, Workers' Comp and Social Security attorneys, call 262-COMP.
Kraft shaking off the contact there, doing a good job getting back into the run of play. But Jertson and Di Lorenzo, we talked about Menyonger being a pleasure to watch. Those two guys as well. Very crafty players.
Off the right side, there's Diallo in behind, but the ball got away from him and rolled out. Throw in on the near side for the Impact. Still that combination just not working yet of Delicata and Diallo.
It's not, and Diallo there, no one to blame but himself. The ball, a lot of times today has been played in the air. That time it's to his feet. No excuse for that kind of touch.
You've got pretty good combinations with the defenders and midfielders working together, but nothing seems to be working at this point between the midfield and forward. Blocked off by Ambersley for Bolton. Pass ahead. Diallo off in the middle, chasing after it. Here's Ambersley, spins around 25 yards out, then goes down to the ball, brought away by the Impact. Out to midfield, Becky, immediately challenged by Loera, and a foul is called on the Rhinos.
Becky is just really backing into Loera, backing in. As soon as Loera lays off a little bit, Becky goes down to the turf. He'll still get the call.
Well, he knows it's coming, so he just backs up, and as soon as there's air there, he goes down, and it looks like he's being pulled down.
Smart play by Becky. Just to fool the official.
Disadvantage for the defender, certainly.
Absolutely.
Laid off into the middle, turning Jertson to his left foot. Takes a crack at the ball, blocked away by Loera along the 18. Up with it, Menyonger to the outside on the far wing for Palguda. He'll work it ahead out toward midfield. Checking back on the ball, Diallo dropping it off from Menyonger. Works toward midfield. In the middle for Loera, as he is able to bend it out on the outside on the near wing for Aloisi. Running onto the ball and across midfield. Now into Montreal territory. Drops it off for Ambersley. Lays it there for Bolton. And long up the right wing for Aloisi is overlapping to the outside. Drawing it down to the 15. 1v1 with Gervais. Looking for the cross. Down along the 6, but that's booted away and out. Bolton settling it from 20 yards out. Rolls it off in the middle. Diallo or make that Menyonger spins. Left-footed kick blocked aside. And deflected off at the far wing. It'll roll out of bounds. Corner kick for the Rhinos. And no, wait a minute. Referee coming over and saying that Diallo blocked.
No, he's found a foul. Kick for us. Kick for Rochester.
He is. All right, yeah, you're right. Okay, I thought he was pointing at a goal kick.
So was I, but he ran over to the spot. You knew right away then.
All right, so the Rhinos will have the kick right along the end line. And just outside the far end of the 18.
I thought it was a good challenge, shoulder to shoulder, Pileski and Diallo.
Menyonger to take the kick. Again, it's the far end of the 18. And about a yard off the end line. 57th minute, no score.
Last time Menyonger and Ambersley were in this situation, they played a short corner. And they were 2v2 and nothing happened.
Menyonger serves it up this time, but headed away and on top. 30 yards out, taken there by Kraft, lays it back into the center circle for Aloisi. Throws it ahead, Kraft spinning around, looking upfield, feed forward. Palguda chips it to the outside, but the ball is headed away by the Impact. Gotti then run over from behind by Ambersley, and a foul is called.
Didn't need to create the foul there, just get in, defend. Just an opportunity for Montreal to slow things down.
So the restart for Montreal from their own 35. Arango turns it to the outside for Aguilar. On the right wing and approaching midfield. Into Rhino territory. Menyonger steps up, but Aguilar able to feed it forward. Gotti chipping the ball through. Becky at the far corner of the box, moving in right-footed roller. Is grabbed off the line by Vallo. At the left post, comes up with a rolling ball.
Keeping Becky at that distance is not a totally bad thing for the Rhinos. He's such a huge presence inside the box. The Velo gets a good, clean look. That's a terrible ball here by Burtz. Montreal quick counter.
Montreal with 3 wins against the Rhinos this year and all 3 game winners. Here's a shot in over top of the crossbar, about 6 inches over top of the crossbar. All 3 games, the game-winning goal has been scored by Charles Bucky.
Burtz knows he's got to do better. That's just a terrible giveaway at Montreal. They're looking for those kind of opportunities, that one chance to make you pay, and then they'll ice the game. As Burtz knows, he'll do better the next time.
Last 2 straight years, these 2 teams have finished 1-2 in the overall standings. Montreal on top, number 1. Rochester finishing second in the last 2 years, but that won't happen this year, as obviously Montreal still with an opportunity as Ambersley's taken down. Play goes on, and Ambersley retaliates, takes DiLorenzo down, and a foul finally called. But, of course, Montreal still a chance of finishing first. Rochester, however, with no chance of finishing second.
No chance, but the new season begins next week, so you just get into the playoffs, then you see what happens from there.
Spun out of bounds on the far side. Throw in for the Rhinos. Cross midfield into Montreal territory. Dropping it off Ben Younger to the outside. Kraft back at midfield. Laying it back to Palguda. He'll drop it to his own side of midfield for Burtz. Has plenty of room. Drawing it forward now with the right foot, but puts it right into the midsection of Gotti, and the ball taken away by the impact. Through midfield, DiLorenzo looking for the through ball to hit for Jurtson. Has it Rochester 30. Moves to the right foot side. Ball blocked away off of the far wing and out by Burtz. So a throw in for the impact on the far side of the field.
Burtz has just got to settle down, get his composure back. Still a young player. Just needs one good hard tackle, win the ball, and then that composure comes back, and he's back in the flow of the game.
Played forward, Younger knocks it down, but it comes right back, and now it's knocked away, and the Rhinos have it. Center circle for Diallo. Turns it across midfield, trying to get away. He'll drop it off at the midfield line for Younger. Through the center circle, right foots it to the near wing, and running onto the ball goes Aloisi. As he wins the race for the ball, dropping it toward the middle, 35 yards out. Ambersley looks forward, plays it back. It's bolted off of the middle, Younger, but not enough on the pass. It's picked off and carried away in upfield by Gotti. To the outside of the left wing for Jurtson. Turning back at the middle, 35 yards out. As it's still, Jurtson backs it off for Becky, spinning around there, 25 yards out, nails it to the outside again. Jurtson, far corner of the 18. On the 18, left puts it through to the near side. In underneath it, knocked down in front. Side body kick by Testo, but puts it up over top of everything and out of play.
The Rhinos are going to want some touches back here as Burtz and Bolton having a bit of trouble maintaining possession for the Rhinos. And again, the impact, taking a look is that quick counterattack as Velo takes a look at one that sails over the bar. That was the Burtz giveaway earlier. So Velo slowing things down, getting the composure back. That's the experience he brings to the table.
61st minute at Paytech, and still no score between the Rhinos and the Impact. Cross midfield, ball booted up in the air. As in behind Delicott, it's tangled up there. That's picked off at the midfield line and spun out of bounds by Palguda. As far as Montreal is concerned, a tie does them no good here tonight. As if they want a chance at first place, they have to win this game in order to surpass Seattle. Right now they're tied with Portland. Seattle a point ahead. And Seattle with a game left tomorrow night. Right footed off on the near wing through midfield. Vincello knocks it down. Drawn out on the near side, then deflected away and up into the stands off of Ambersley. A throw in at midfield on the near side for the Impact. Looks like Ray Martinez getting ready to check in.
Portland also has one game tomorrow night as well. Portland will be at Vancouver. That top spot still up for grabs.
61st minute, Martinez is in, and Nate Kraft is out. Nice job by Kraft.
Yeah, good job by Nate Kraft. Normally a defender, he's playing as a midfielder. And I like this move by Coach Callaway. Ray Martinez now, you take out a more defensive-minded midfielder, and you bring in an attack-minded midfielder in Ray Martinez. Good aggressive move.
Kraft hadn't seen much action over the last couple of weeks, and so he really wasn't game fit. He got a good 60 minutes in today, though. Bolton will deliver out through midfield. Turning back for Aguilar from his own 40, drawing it forward to get away from Diallo. Cross midfield on the far wing and played to the outside. Right-footed downfield into Rhino territory and turning back for Burtz as he challenges Gertson for the ball. They bump and the ball rolls to the corner. Burtz up with it. On the far touchline, as finally a foul is called on Jurtson, and the Rhinos will have the kick.
Jurtson, not the biggest of players, but he's not going to shy away from any challenges. Burtz clearly the bigger man there, fighting off Jurtson. just pesky all over the field trying to make something happen.
Dallo moving over to the corner to take the kick. This from 10 yards out off the left wing side. Able to play it out through midfield. Headed up in the air. To the side by Menyonger, but then it's volleyed into Ryan territory by the impact. And Aloisi after it on the near wing. Chased by Becky. Up the right side. Becky gets a foot on it. Knocks it away out of bounds.
News 1040 WYSL Avon Rochester.
And on the near side. As the ball is played in. Trying to get away, Martinez lays it off in the middle. Menyonger moving into the right foot, takes a shot. He missed the upper left corner by 4 or 5 feet. A little bit high and a little bit wide.
About a very good look there from Menyonger. First good look of the second half for the Rhinos. And Martinez, who's come on here for Nate Kraft, he's going to have to remember that last time up here in Rochester when DiLorenzo knocked him off the ball and set the table for Becky. Ray's going to have to be a little more present on the defensive side of things tonight as well.
Well, the Rhinos finally got a shot away here in the second half. As in the second half, the Impact had outshot the Rhinos so far 3-1. There's the kick by Jordan through midfield. As it's flicked forward, but in underneath it is Burtz. With the left foot, able to hammer it across midfield. Diallo looking for the flick on. Delicate able to get a toe on it, pushing it across midfield. But then Gervais, a side volley kick, will send a high floater back in Rhino territory. Loera nods to the side, chased off in the far corner by Burtz. And he'll left foot it, but up into the stands, out of play. Throw it on the far side for the Impact. First substitution on the night coming up for the Impact, as Leduc will be checking in a moment. Rhinos after it on the throw-in. Taken by Menyonger, drawing it to the outside again. Talguda up the left wing side, but that's picked off and carried forward. Menyonger couldn't get away. Bolton's shot blocked away. And finally, with the right foot, Burt's able to hammer it high in the air and flights it out through midfield. Vincello nodded back into Rhino territory. In underneath it is Ambersley. Turns it to the outside along the near wing. Chased there by DiLorenzo and off in the middle, Bolton. But that's kicked away from him. Out of bounds by Testo, a throw-in on the near side for the Rhinos. Throw-in for Aloisi.
Change coming up here. Pileski's going to come off. And this will be interesting to see because Pileski's playing on the right side of midfield. Leduc, normally when I've seen him play, he's been in the middle of the park. We'll see what kind of adjustments the Impact make. Looks like Testo, he may shift to the outside, put Leduc right in the middle.
Last game, Montreal came away with a 1-0 victory over Atlanta, and it was Leduc who scored the goal. So Leduc is in, and Pileski is out, and a throw-in on the near side for the Rhinos. Aloisi turns back with the ball, dropping it off for Loera along his 35. He'll then switch it to the outside of the left wing for Palguda, drawing it forward near midfield. Off in the center circle. It is dropped off at midfield. Bolton across midfield and Palguda through midfield. Ball through and rolling out over the end line. And it'll be a goal kick for the Impact. Sponsors of these broadcasts tonight include Free Time Magazine, Western New York's art and entertainment guide. Dodge, grab life by the horns, that's Dodge. And by Time Warner, get all in one, digital cable, digital phone, and Roadrunner. One package, save hundreds.
Last week, Patrick Leduc, who's just come on for Pileski, was playing on the defensive line next to Gabe Gervais. Normally your defensive midfielder, but he did a great job dropping back, playing some defense for the Impact. Now he's in the middle of the park. Testo has shifted out wide.
Cross midfield. After trying to sneak through Becky, tackled away by Aloisi, and Burt's up with the ball. Tying it forward, right foots it off into the center circle. Menyonger on the attack. And charging through is Martinez. It goes to the outside. Delicate near into the 18. Switching back to the left foot. It's a roller in, but tipped out to the end line. And Jordan, the keeper, can't get to it. That's over the end line. It'll be a corner kick for the Rhinos.
That's a great counterattack from the Rhinos. As Burt's great vision to see Johnny Menyonger wide open in the middle of the field. And it's a quick turn. Menyonger goes forward. And Delicate gets Vincello going the wrong way. Just doesn't get a good contact on the free kick or on the shot.
Ambersley over to set the ball. Menyonger moving over. We'll see what they'll do here. It is a short to Menyonger on the end line, trying to sneak, turning back, trying to get away from DiLorenzo. Along the end line, gets away inside the 18, crossed down inside, but headed away from the 6 up in the air. Bolton moving in, nods it forward, and then Gervais on the short hop kicks it away out of the box. Coming out of the near side, in underneath it is Jertson. Turns the ball with the left foot out to midfield, stepping up Aloisi. Gives it off for Bolton. Dropping it back in the center circle for Palguda. As he'll chase the ball down on the left wing side. Drawing it forward, Palguda looking around and off in the middle for Bolton. To the outside again. Palguda on the left wing, down to the 35, turns toward the middle. Trying to sneak through. Pass ahead. Ambersley drops it back. Bolton from 35. Looking for the return pass. Up front. Ambersley shot from 20. Blocked aside. Rolls off on the near wing. Picked up. Di Lorenzo with the left foot. Turning back with the ball. Sneaks it through. And Gervais on a return pass too far ahead is out. Throwing on the near side for the Rhinos on the Montreal 45.
And the Rhinos, they put just enough pressure on Gervais to force him to a poor touch.
Off in the middle for drops it back out to the 35 in the middle for Menyunger. He'll lay it off on the left wing side, moving up on the ball. Here comes Palguda. Down to the 20. Cross down inside. Back post side. Hit a ball. He scores! Off the right wing. The back post side. Martinez gets the head ball on a great service from Palguda. The Rhinos have finally scored against Montreal.
And let's hope this thing stands with Montreal not able to come back from the lead here, and look where they go. They go over to the Montreal Impact supporter section, and they tear this sign down, and Ray Martinez, the substitute, has come off the bench, and he's made things happen. Great job from Ray. Palguda, good run down that far side. Nice cross into the box. Martinez gets up as high as he can, and it's up and over the hands of Matt Jordan. No chance there. Great stuff from the substitute.
Well, the Rhinos finally getting a goal here against Montreal, and that breaks the 6-game shutout string for goaltender Jordan.
The season scored by number 35, Ray Boom Boom Martinez.
Third of the season for Martinez.
Palguda.
And Palguda gets the assist. So the Rhinos scoring in the 68th minute have taken the lead. And we'll see if history is able to hold true here tonight. Again, the games in which Montreal has allowed the first goal of the game against, they have lost.
And the Rhinos now are going to take a page out of the Montreal book. Keep things tight. Let them come at you. Look to counter. And see where we go from here. Great
out
stuff.
Through midfield, Ambersley looking for the through ball, but knocked down. Played away off in the far wing and in underneath it. Carried across midfield on the right wing side by Testo. As it 40 yards out, off in the middle for Jertson, dropping it back once again, but the Testo comes up with the ball. Then it's stolen away neatly by Menyunger. And on the left wing side for Martinez. Right foots it out through midfield. Handed away by Gervais and off in the center circle and carried across midfield by Vincello. His pass forward to Becky and dropped off in the middle. Moving in on the ball is Di Lorenzo, taken down. And a foul is called on the Rhinos. This spot on the ball will be 25 yards out, directly in the middle.
It's going to be a choice here from Val how to set up the wall. We'll see where we go. And it's a good look for the Impact. Jertson hits these free kicks very dangerous.
Substitution coming up for the Rhinos. Sievers will be in and Ambersley out. Second sub of the night for Rochester here in the... Are they going to get the sub in? Evidently not. As the kick will be taken again, about 28 yards out.
Ambersley's done a nice job tonight.
Now here he comes. The substitution will be made here in the 71st minute.
Played in the midfield, did a good job. Very composed performance from Mike Ambersley. And Sievers now will come in for number 21.
So the Rhinos finally taking the lead against Montreal, up 1-0. Scoring again in the 68th minute. Raymond third and Palguda assisting.
We got to go back to the goal celebration because someone tore down the Ultras banner, and they didn't care for that, but I loved it. I thought it was great. Whoever did it, great move. I love to see it.
Yeah, we do see a lot of security folks over in the stands right now.
Ray Martinez comes over, celebrating, showing the Ultra fans the little dance there. And look at Jason Perry coming over and tearing down the side. I love it. I love it. I love it. Great stuff, JP.
We look at the replays here at Baytech Park. And Perry tears the sign down. Well, they put the sign back up now, but they put it on the railing inside the stands instead of hanging out on the field.
Get out of here. Go back to Montreal.
Out through midfield. Off of the far wing. That's drawn away. Right through the center circle to stepping in Aloisi. Across midfield is ball through to Diallo. Dropping it back at midfield and Sievers to the outside of the right wing. But what is it? Way out. Shanked it away out the outside of his foot and out of bounds. Throw in on the near side for the impact. 72nd minute now here at Baytech Park. 8 ahead. Gervais. Pass off to Leduc. Turning on the far wing. Martinez stepping in but overran the ball and chased down on the far wing by Gotti. Draws it up the wing and a tip toward the middle. And now we know that Montreal's going to have to score 2 goals if they want to finish first in the league this year. Drawn away out of bounds on the far side. Again, Montreal having to win this game in order to finish first.
And Ray Martinez coming in hard, picks up the yellow. He's just got to relax. They got to keep their composure. And Montreal, this is a very new spot for them, coming back from a deficit.
So their substitution for Montreal. It'll be Matondo in, a speedster, and Gotti coming off as the change will be made here in the 73rd minute.
You didn't see a lot of offensive pressure from Simon Gotti. Matondo will bring a whole other element of speed and attacking presence for Montreal as DeSantis wants to try and get back into this game.
All right, so Matondo is in. City Toddy Matondo. And they kick across midfield on the far side for the Impact.
You saw Matondo with Vancouver last year, scored one of the goals in the championship game.
Laid down to the 18, that's headed up in the air, settled at the 18 again, trying to spin around Jurtson, but blocked away, comes out to the 35, still Montreal controls. Drop back at midfield, Leduc giving it to Gervais. He'll switch it through the midfield circle, off on the far wing. That's drawn by Aguilar, touching it down, and it rolls down inside the 18, and Sievers is back to cover up. Rhinos have it. Sievers with the right foot. He'll send a high floater through midfield. Gervais underneath it, bothered there by Diallo, but Gervais comes away with the ball. Through midfield, turns into the outside of the near wing for Di Lorenzo, spinning back, being chased by Diallo, by Delicat. To the outside again on the near wing, Gervais at the midfield line. Off into the center circle, Vincello on the play, will then roll it out on the right wing side for Aguilar. Through midfield into Rhino territory. As he looks to sneak the ball through, far into the 18, the ball blocked, rolls out over the end line, and a goal kick for the Rhinos.
Nice bit of defending from Josh Bolton. He reads the play well. He anticipates that ball is going to try and come in behind the defense. Just neatly steps in front of David Testo. Runs it over the end line. Goal kick here for the Rhinos.
74th minute. Rhinos leading 1-0. Sponsors of these broadcasts include Perry's Ice Cream. Life's a bowl of Perry's. The Distillery. Now open in Greece on Ridge Road at 390. And also by Mollier Chevrolet Buick. They always say yes. Lighted out through midfield. Headed forward. Knocked away on the outside. Martinez lays it back at midfield for Menyonger. The outside on the far wing, Palguda. Long service downfield, trying to sneak in behind, but that's blocked aside. Now Sievers is run over and knocked down, and a foul is called, and the Rhinos will have a free kick 30 yards out, a little bit to the left of center.
How that's not a yellow card on Testo, I'll never know. He just comes in from behind, takes out the knees of Sievers. That's a dangerous challenge to get no yellow card.
75th minute, 1-0 lead for the Rhinos. Rochester. We'll see playoff action. Who and where and when, we don't know yet. Keep your eye on rhinosoccer.com as the ball is turned over, and then in turn, Menyonger knocks it aside. And the ball rolls away and out of bounds on the far side. Now, the only thing that we do know, as we've been telling you all night long, is that if we do win, if the Rhinos do win tonight, they'll be playing Atlanta in the first round. But other than that, if they do not, then it's facing off against Montreal, Portland, or Seattle. Long head ball downfield, headed aside by Aloisi, and underneath it, Burtz. Turns it to the outside for Sievers. Along the near wing as he sneaks ahead. Cross midfield for Martinez. As he's challenged from behind, now double and triple teamed, and is knocked flying. And the restart for the Rhinos, the free kick just to their own side of midfield.
Getting chippy. Getting very chippy here. Players could be hurt. As Martinez takes a little tuck here from that's a shot right in the thigh. That's got to be a yellow card again from behind.
Loera serves it off across midfield toward the middle for Bolton. Pass up the right side to Sievers, turning back. Drops it off at midfield. Loera now left foots it through midfield on the near wing and stepping in underneath it. Aloisi, but it got away from him. Sievers challenging Di Lorenzo. Now Bolton moving in, blocks it away, and the Rhinos come away with the ball. It's Bolton turning into the outside at the right wing. Challenged there by Vincello as he'll roll it off for Sievers. To the outside again for Bolton. As he's bumped by Di Lorenzo, moving up to help out is Aloisi, and a high cross coming down inside the 18. Diallo tied up, and the ball blocked away out of the box. In the far wing after goes Palguda. Left wing side, or the middle, spinning around to get away. And Martinez, he did such a nifty move that he went down and couldn't come up with the ball.
Surprised himself.
Yeah, carried across midfield in the far wing into Rhino territory. A couple more substitutions getting ready to check in for the Impact. Burtz tackles the ball away out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in on the far side for Montreal.
What a good hard tackle and recovery run from Kenny Burtz. He's made it difficult for Charles Beckett tonight. Becky's had his cake last week. He ate it. He had a good time. But tonight, they are denying the big man any sort of food, as there's a hard tackle coming from Kenny Burt's. Good stuff.
Ribeiro checking in and coming off his testo. So Ribeiro played his first game back after missing 5 with an injury last game. He is back in the lineup here tonight. Antonio Ribeiro, 28-year-old from Portugal.
Tough groin injury. He was day-to-day for a while. He's now back and trying to get in the groove here before the playoffs.
And now they're making a bit of an offensive kind of a move as Arango, a defender, coming out. Dawkins will be checking in here in the 78th minute.
And a Jamaican international spent 2 years with Atlanta. Fabian Dawkins now coming on, and he's a terror with some pace. Can really go at some tired defenders.
And now Montreal with a little bit more speed on the pitch. As you get Matondo in there, you get Dawkins in, and Ribeiro's pretty quick himself. And now the ball brought forward. Delicott sneaks it up the left wing side. After it goes Diallo, and on him is Vincello. Fire into the box. Pass out in front, moving in. Delicott shot. Score! Matthew Delicott inside the right post. Great feed from Diallo, and the Rhinos up 2-0.
Now, we talked about it all. When is the connection of Ahmed Diallo and Matthew Delicott going to work? And it works beautifully there as Diallo streaking forward. Waits. It's a beautiful weighted pass to the on-rushing Matthew Delicott. And he neatly stretched it with the toe. That is good combination. And they finally do connect. Diallo, he gets Vincello to bite. It's weighted beautifully, and Deli comes in with the right-footed toe. And there's no chance for Jordan. He watches it sail in. Good patience. He waits. And Deli just streaking full force. Gervais cannot keep up with him.
Well, that goal has been a long time coming for Matthew Delicott. It's been a long season and a tough one for him with the injury. And he comes up tonight with his 6th goal of the season.
His 6th of the season, scored by number 7, Matthew Delicott. With the assist to number 35, Ray Boom Martinez.
No, it'll change.
Sorry.
That's Delicott from Martinez.
And the guy who passed it has a little bit better tan.
A little bit, but a totally different number. That'll go to Martinez. No, it'll go to Diallo, not Martinez. Big mistake there by the statistician.
All right, a midfield now. A throw in on the near side for the Rhinos. Rochester up 2-0 against Montreal. And certainly the Rhinos have played with a lot more determination in this game tonight than we've seen maybe even all season long.
Yeah, there's fire in the belly, finally.
Loera heads it forward as he's in a collision with Becky, and they go down on a head-to-head collision. And who's the foul going to be on? On Loera? Are you kidding? A 50-50 ball, and Loera gets the yellow.
That's terrible. That's a lousy call. He says he threw an elbow, the referee is saying. I don't think so. Becky knows it. It was just hard-to-hard or hard head-to-head contact.
All right, so a free kick for Montreal. Played out through the center circle off in the far wing. Aguilar off the right wing side.
Change the assist from number 35, Ray Martinez, to number 11, Ahmed Diallo.
All right, thank you very much. As the ball back in the center circle, Leduc dropping it off. Back for Gervais to the outside of the near wing once again for Leduc. He turns around, challenged by Sievers, gets a pass away in the middle for Vincello. Works away and across midfield on the attack, chasing behind by Menyonger, who's played an outstanding game, I think, tonight. As the ball brought all the way up to the 18 by Vincello to the outside. Here's a high cross. Vincello and Menyonger, as they have words and now give each other a hug. The ball is played out over the end line. It'll be a goal kick for the Rhinos.
I'll tell you one thing I think we've learned tonight, Don, is Montreal does not like to be under pressure like they have been.
Other sponsors of these broadcasts tonight include the Farish Group. The best seat in the house is near Farish Apartment. See them all at Farish.com. And by Nothnagel, Rochester's full-service realtor. Substitution. Diallo checking off. It's going to be Bolton coming out and Bonsu going in the 82nd minute.
We haven't seen a lot of Josh Bolton as of late, but he's come on and did a very solid job this evening. And T-Bone Bonsu now will come in, anchor the defense, try and ride this thing out for the Rhinos. But again, as I was saying, Montreal, the Rhinos came out with fire, intensity. They just didn't handle that very well. And I think the Rhinos have found something to build upon.
Dowdle will hammer it out through midfield. Delicott for the flick on, but Leduc gets to it, heads it back across midfield into Rhino territory. Now overstepping in underneath it, Burt's up the left wing side. Martinez drawing it forward. Biggest crowd of the season here tonight. About 12,500 or so. What was it, 12,448?
Beautiful crowd.
Cross midfield on the right wing side, through ball, and turning back for it goes Loera. Being chased from behind, turns to get away. Still has the ball as he plays it ahead. Down at midfield, or brought out to the 35. Bonsu now across midfield on the left wing side. And into Montreal territory. Martinez drops it back. First timing it away through downfield is Palguda. In behind is Diallo. Big hop on the ball. Out to grab it at his 15 is Jordan. Now, why wasn't that offside?
Yeah, because he was onside.
It was?
I think so.
But ordinarily, I mean, they're a lot worse than that. They usually call him offside.
Yeah.
It is Riviera looking through, sneaks the ball through, rolls down inside the 18 and scooped up by Vallo.
We cut a break there, Dan.
Well, you know what? I agree that the call that time it was right, because it's when the ball is struck as the placement of the player at the time, whether or not it's an offside or not. But they just don't seem to be able to make that.
In all honesty, referees' assistants, I think they have a hard time really determining when the ball's touched and where the player is.
I mean, you're looking at two different areas of the field at the same time. That's awful tough to do. Play down inside to the end line. Vallo rolling in on it. As he pick it off the end line, he does kick it away out of bounds on the near side. And a throw in for the impact along the near wing. Vincello from 25 yards out to the outside for Di Lorenzo. With the left foot, will serve it down inside, hit it away out of the box by Loera. And, what, was it a foul or offside, or what was the call?
I don't see anything. I don't know what the call was.
Well, it's going to be a kick for the Rhinos. Substitution coming up. Tremblay will be in. And out is Jertson. And in the 84th minute, Tremblay in.
The Rhinos doing a great job. Jertson, just not the Joey Jertson we know. They have really neutralized him. He was marked tighter. He didn't have free roam tonight. And, I think so Joey Jertson goes, so will the Montreal Impact. And the Rhinos have really discovered that.
For the Rhinos, Rookie of the Year, Kevin Burns is in, and out is Matthew Delicott. And it's a smart move there. You don't want to let certain players get injured in the last few minutes of a game heading into the playoffs.
And Deli's still getting the legs underneath him, and he's come back from that broken jaw. Did a great job tonight. I'm glad to see Deli get on the score sheet. Well-deserved goal. First-class guy.
Well, Montreal has used their substitutions. Rhinos still have one more that they can make, either Holmes or Perry. Ball played down inside the 18, booted away out to midfield by the keeper, Jordan. Angled up there, Palguda goes down in a collision with Matondo, and the ball on the right wing is carried into Rhino territory. Watched there by Bonsu. Matondo's pass, Bonsu steals it away, and then he'll boot it across midfield. Back for it goes Leduc for the impact. Dropping it off for Aguilar, approaching the midfield line to the outside for Matondo. Dropping it off on the right wing side. That's right-footed through midfield into Rhino territory, and back for it, Sievers will head it forward. That's knocked down at the 35, Becky to the outside along the near wing for Di Lorenzo. As he looks it over, plays it off into the middle for Vincello. Left foots it down inside. That one, they'll just let it roll. That's through the box, heading to the far corner. Palguda after it there will let it roll out. It'll be a throw in deep in the left wing corner for the Rhinos.
Good choice by Scotty. Now he's got some time to regroup, eat some time off of the clock. And for the Rhinos, looks like Diallo's the lone guy up top, with Martinez and Manyanger just a little behind him.
Throw it. As Burns is double teamed, couldn't get to it. Ball blocked aside, and now up with it, Bonsu. Left puts it forward, but Montreal taking it now. Sievers will volley it out across midfield. Diallo flicks it forward, chased back in his own zone by Vincello. We're in the 86th minute here at Paytech, and the Rhinos leading Montreal. That's right, the Rhinos are leading Montreal 2-0. Off on the right wing side, carried forward by the Impact. Pass toward the middle, as taken down. A ball rolls over the far side. A foul is called, and it'll be a free kick for the Montreal Impact, 20 yards out off the right wing.
And the Rhinos getting the much better play tonight. Montreal did win those first two games of these last three, but I think this last one was crucial for the confidence, for the psyche of the Rhinos. Big points and a big confidence boost for the team.
Off the right wing side. Kick to be taken by Di Lorenzo. Left-footed kicker, 87th minute now at Paytech. Rochester goals by Martinez and Delicott. Here's service in the box. Headed up in the air by Aloisi. Coming down to the 18 once again. Becky settles it off the right toe. Dawkins tried to shoot. Now it's cleared up in the air. Shot over top of everything and out. As the shot was taken by, who was that shot taken by? Becky, evidently, yep.
It's not going to happen. Not going to happen for Becky tonight as of yet. Loera and the Rhinos defense have just completely shut him out. and they've done a great job this evening.
Ball played back as it'll be a goal kick for the goalkeeper, Scott Vallow. Vallow sends it out through midfield. Quick forward across the midfield line, drawn away by Menyanger. In underneath it up the left wing for Martinez, down to the 35. To the outside, looking to sneak the ball through. It's inside the box. And Diallo after, but offside. The flag is in the air, offside against the Rhinos. Kick to be taken by the keeper, Jordan. Rochester, so they hold on here, will take on the Atlanta Silverbacks in the first round. It comes out of the near wing after under Trombley. However, offside flag is on the up in the air against Montreal, offside against the Impact.
In Atlanta, I'm telling you, I've been saying it the last couple of weeks, they're a dangerous team. Look out for them. The Rhinos are going to have their hands full. But coming to that series, if it's Rochester, Atlanta, the Rhinos should have a ton of confidence.
Yeah, Rochester hasn't had a whole lot of luck against Atlanta this year. In fact, would that be no luck at all?
None. Antonia, David Hayes, they've done a great job against the Rhinos.
Rochester 0-2 in the season. 1 goal for, 6 goals against Atlanta. And Atlanta, by the way, did surpass the Rhinos as the leading goal-scoring team in the league right now.
A lot of parity, though, in the league. It's really gotten tight. To see the race come down to the final weekend, it's been awesome. Fans sitting on the edge of their seat, biting nails and praying their team makes it.
Albeit, I do remember the game in Atlanta where the Rhinos had 9 players that game out injured.
They had to be the bottom of the bottom for the Rhinos this year.
And they lost that game 4-0. Ball across midfield, and foul is called on the Rhinos, so restart for the Impact at midfield on the near side. Vincello across midfield. Trombley dropping it back. As Gervais tips it aside for Vincello, he has to chase the ball back down to his 30. Watching him as Burns, he'll lay it off in the middle, and Jordan, the keeper, gone the other way. Wide open space, and the Rhinos will watch that ball roll forever. Go ahead while the clock ticks, that's fine.
It's like Montreal's the one playing keep away, protecting the lead.
Vincello drawing it up the near side, approaching the midfield line. Turning toward the middle, trying to get away from Severs. On a give and go, return pass Vincello, but moving in, Burns able to block it aside. Up on the far wing, underneath it is Matondo. Right wing side, crossing down inside the 6, flighted through, and out the near end of the 18, chased after there by Aloisi deep in the near corner. Puts a roll over the end line, and it'll be a goal kick for the Rhinos. Rochester goal kick.
Di Lorenzo tried to be a little crafty there. Ball's over the end line, and Di Lorenzo jerks in for Montreal to make a big push in the playoffs. They're going to have to find a way to beat the tight marking. They couldn't do it tonight, but they're going to have to find a way.
4 minutes of stoppage time coming up. That'll be, and the clock starts when it finishes ticking down to the 90-minute mark, which is about 30 seconds from now. And then it'll be 4 minutes of additional time. Turning back for it goes Vincello. Drawing it off in the middle, where it's picked up by Di Lorenzo, and he'll lay it out along his 25 in the middle for Aguilar. On the right side for Ledoux. Approaching midfield and across midfield into Rhino territory. Turning back to help out Martinez, however, a foul is called as get Matondo tangled up, and a yellow card has been issued to Palguda.
Why?
I'm not sure.
I mean, yeah, call the foul. Matondo's kicking, jumping on top of him, and he's going to give Palguda the card.
He's giving the yellow card because Rochester is leading 2-0.
There was definitely an obstruction there. You can make the call, and then there was a little contact after the play both ways.
Headed, that's flicked out through the box on the near end, rolling to the corner. Ball rolls out, throw in on the near side for Montreal from the Rochester 5. Throw into the near end of the 6, and then underneath it is Becky drawing it to the outside again. A chip for the back post, and up in the air they go. Head ball in, but right into the hands of the goaltender, Scott Vallow.
Good positioning, Vallow right in the spot on that far post, and it's good to see Scott Vallow so far with this clean sheet against a very tough Montreal team. It's the service from Trombley on that near side, up in the air, Matondo. Vallow reads it well.
Coming down to the center circle, and the ball carried through by Dawkins of the Impact. Works wide to the right side, chased by Martinez. Off the right wing, and on his heels, Menyanger. Dawkins drawing into the end line. Martinez knocks it away out over the end line. So that'll be a corner kick for the Impact. Montreal corner. We're in stoppage time. About 3 minutes to go.
And Matt Jordan's telling everyone to push up. He even wants Aguilar to push up and not worry about sticking out in the back. Jordan's almost near midfield.
Here's the corner kick. High floater out to the backdoor side, headed up in the air. Ballo out to punch the ball away. However, it comes down to the 6. Nodded away out top again. A kick in, diving for it. Ballo comes up with the ball at the left post. Not a whole lot on it, but Ballo was able to get back and get to it.
This is a completely different Rhinos defensive setup on corner kicks or on restarts. Very loose, a lot of gaps last week. This week there's white bodies just smothering the box. The high ball, we saw one like that last week that Becky got on the end of. This time the Rhinos are just all over the box. White jerseys everywhere. And Ballo able to recover 2 players on that post as well defensively for the Rhinos.
All the way down deep in the far corner, Menyanger takes the ball. He stands there now, double team. Finally is manhandled and the ball pulled away. Impact with it. Left-footed out toward midfield. Becky and Loera again battling for the ball. It comes loose in the center circle. Chase after and brought away by Bonsu. Pass forward to Diallo. Turning back 35 yards out. Drops it out to the 40 for Sievers. He'll switch it to the left wing side. In underneath it, Martinez along the far wing for Menyanger. At the touchline, battled there, and the ball pulled away by the Impact. Brought forward by Montreal. Near midfield, through the center circle on the near wing, De Lorenzo. Bonsu stepping in. Sievers tried to tackle it, but that's kicked away on the near side. In underneath it, Trombley. Right foots it down to the Rhino as the ball is now headed aside and carried off by Sievers, dropping it back for Burns at his own 35. Trying to not make it through, but deflected off on the near side and picked up by Sievers. To the outside, Aloisi through midfield. In behind goes Diallo. Has Martinez now on a 2-on-1. Up the right side, Diallo near end of the box, moving in, roller. Martinez shoots, and it's blocked aside by goalkeeper Jordan. Makes a save, whistles, blows, and that's it. The Rhinos win it.
Good stuff there from Diallo, though. Set the table. Martinez, he wanted to, but he drives it right at the keeper. Nonetheless, a big success tonight for the Rhinos.
So Jordan makes the save. He is very upset. He turns and makes a beeline for the exit. Now he turns and is going to come back out onto the field, but it looked like he was going to head for the locker room very upset.
Surprised. Jordan usually is going to do his duty, shake hands, blah, 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 but he decides to come back. That's a good choice.
So the Rhinos coming away with the win here tonight. It's the first time this season the Rhinos have had a victory against Montreal. That stops the 6-game shutout string for the goalkeeper, Matt Jordan. And it also stops the string of wins for Montreal over Rochester as the Rhinos coming up with a win finally. End up the season with a 1-3 record against this Montreal team. And Rochester will meet Atlanta in the first round of the playoffs. That much we know.
Should be a doozy, and the Rhinos with the big 2-0 win. It's confidence. It's all confidence heading in to the new season, the playoffs. Just take your shot, see what happens.
Yeah, the other thing we know is that Montreal will not finish first in the overall table this year in the league.
Impact will be stuck at 50 points, 14, 6, and 8. Coach Calloway is going to walk off a very happy man. He's got Montreal a little payback, and I think the timing of the win. I would take those first 2 losses to get that third win at the end as you head into the playoffs with a ton of confidence.
Yeah, certainly that's what Rochester needed, was a little bit of momentum going into the playoffs, needing the win here tonight and coming up with a victory over Montreal. Just a huge win here for the Rochester Rhinos.
I didn't want to say must-win game, but it was one that the Rhinos really did need tonight.
All right, let's send you downstairs, down to field level. Soccer Sam, take it away, Sammy.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Joe. Matthew Delicott, this is a new season. Joe Giuliano and Don just said it. This is the new season. It's the playoffs. You guys played amazing today. You got that goal, man. You're just an amazing player. I mean, I don't know how you got to that ball, but what a game, man. Congratulations on our last home game of the season, regular season. A huge victory for you guys.
Oh, absolutely. You know, after losing 2 times in a row to them and, 3 times on the season, it's a huge moral boost for us to win the last game going into the playoffs and also, getting the monkey off our back that we can't beat Montreal. So it's a great feeling.
Well, next we're going to be playing Atlanta most likely. It's either going to be Friday or Sunday. And I tell you, guys look like you're on fire. The confidence level is just amazing. You came back from, the guy busted his jaw July 3rd. I mean, you're a lot lighter without all that jawbone, I think. But you're getting in there with your head. You're just, boom, you don't care about anything. I love it.
Thank you. Thanks very much. It feels good to be back. I thought my season might have been over, so it's awesome to be back out on the field scoring goals again.
Matthew Delicott, my player of the game. We're going to, wait, what we're going to do? Let's show the goal right now. Look at Diallo here with a nice wrestle through ball right to you. And I don't know how you got this. Look at it. It's just, boom. It's a defender of the year. You just beat him. Gervais, boom, right toe poke in there.
It felt good.
You and Diallo, what chemistry. I love it.
It's good, yeah. It's great to be scoring goals in front of the home crowd, and let's hopefully take it to the playoffs now.
All right, Matthew Delicott, my player of the game. Let's go back up to Don and Joe.
Thank you, Sammy. And certainly, as we talked about, Joe, that forward combination of Diallo and Delicott, if the Rhinos are going to go anywhere, that's got to start clicking once again.
Absolutely. And, to get a result like this against Montreal with Diallo and Delicott showing something on the score sheet, it's wonderful stuff.
So the Rhinos come out off the victory here tonight as they have defeated the Montreal Impact for the first time this season. The final score at Paytech Park, the Rochester Rhinos 2 and the Montreal Impact 0. And this is the Rhinos Broadcast Network. Paytech Park tonight, the Rhinos coming away with a 2-0 win over the visiting Montreal Impact. And on the season now, the Rhinos end up the season. And we look back here, the Rhinos end up with a 12-10-6 record with 42 points. We'll finish in 5th place in the league as now Vancouver cannot catch the Rhinos and Puerto Rico cannot catch the Rhinos as they're done. Vancouver does play tomorrow, but no matter what they do, they cannot catch Rochester. The Rhinos finish up 5th place. Atlanta, of course, finished 4th, so those are the 2 teams that will be meeting in the playoffs. Montreal cannot take 1st place this year as they come up with a loss here now, finishing the season on a 14-6-8 record with 50 points. They can still remain tied with Portland for 2nd place in the league, but if Portland comes up with a point, then Montreal would drop to 3rd. Right now, Montreal tied for 2nd and cannot reach Seattle in 1st place. And Rochester ends up the season with a win and 3 losses against the Montreal Impact. So that's the way it goes here tonight. That's the final at Paytech Park. But certainly, as we talked about, Joe, just a huge morale booster for this club.
Yeah, it's kind of a what have you done lately? And the Rhinos, as of late, that's the way they got to walk away from this game. We won the last one against Montreal. We head into the playoffs with a ton of momentum and confidence. If I'm the coach and I'm the guys, that's my preaching all week long, and you just see where that takes you.
Well, of course, the other part of it, though, is that you don't want to be too overjoyous with your victory here tonight, because now it's more important that you get your mind on Atlanta and start working about that one. I mean, it's not like you just won the championship or anything here tonight. You won one game, a regular season game, and you got to treat it as such to some point, too.
Yeah, you got to keep things in perspective, but you also got to look for those little things, those little nuggets that kind of keep you excited and interested in things. And I build off of this, go at it, and say, hey, we took care of Montreal. There's no reason why we can't take care of Atlanta, and just continue having a ton of confidence heading into the playoffs.
The thing that I like right from the very start, you could just see that the Rhinos had as much, if not more, determination than we've seen all season long here tonight.
Without a doubt. I've seen 28 games, whether on USL Live or here at Paytech Park. The fire was in the belly tonight. They were ready to play. They didn't want to suffer another loss or even tie tonight. The determination was there. And like I said, too, at the start of the game, maybe you're starting to see some things come into shape just at the right time.
All right, let's run through the statistics tonight. The post-game stats are brought to you by the Farish Group. The best seat in the house is in your Farish apartment. See them all at farish.com. No scoring in the first half. First goal of the game, which turns out to be the game-winning goal. The only one the Rhinos needed on the night came in the 68th minute. Ray Martinez picking up his 3rd of the season. Scott Palguda with the assist, and this one puts the Rhinos up 1-0. He'll lay it off on the left wing side, moving up on the ball. Here comes Palguda. Down to the 20. Cross down inside. Back post side. Hit a ball. He scores! Off the right wing. The back post side. Martinez gets the head ball on a great service from Palguda. The Rhinos have finally scored against Montreal. So at the 68th minute, the game's first goal, the game-winning goal, scored by Martinez, his 3rd goal of the season. Palguda assisting, and the Rhinos up 1-0. Did add a little insurance in the 79th minute as the icing on the cake was put away by Matthew Delicott, scoring his 6th goal of the season on a nice feed from Amad Diallo. 79th minute, this puts the Rhinos up 2-0. And now the ball brought forward. Delicott sneaks it up the left wing side. After goes Diallo, and on him is Vincello. Fire into the box. Pass out in front, moving in. Delicott shot. Score! Matthew Delicott inside the right post. Great feed from Diallo, and the Rhinos up 2-0. So that goal scored by Delicott, again his 6th, Diallo assisting, and the Rhinos a 2-0 lead held on the rest of the way. That's the final, 2-0 in favor of the Rhinos. Statistics on the night. as the shots ended up even up. Each team had 8 shots in the game. Quarter kicks, 3 for Montreal, 2 for the Rhinos. Offsides, even up at 3 apiece. Fouls, 21 against the Rhinos, 15 against Montreal. In goal, Scott Vallow with the victory, ends up the season with a 5-3-0 record. Had a shutout here tonight and with 4 saves. At the other end, Jordan finishes the season with a 10-3-5 record, giving up 2 goals and was credited with 2 saves here tonight. So there's your statistics on the game.
I'm going back to play of the game tonight, Don, and the great stats, great result for the Rhinos. Jason Perry, play of the game for me was when he turned down that banner. It was great. That's one of the hardest laughs I've had all season long. Kudos to Jason Perry.
And the only good thing about it is that the Rhinos won't be going back to Montreal to play.
Not yet. But they were upset. The Ultras had their banner, and Perry just said, "Get this junk out of here."
All right, let's go through these things. The call of the game, first of all, which is brought to you by Paytech, personalizing personal communications. And here's the delivery by Kraft down inside. It's flicking a goal. Oh, just wide of the left post. And, in fact, breaking for the post was Burtz, and he caught it as he went head over the end line. And it was a beautiful flick on and a great hit ball, however, just wide left. So that is the Paytech call of the game tonight. Pellegrino's sub of the game. Well, I wonder who it's going to be tonight.
For the 27th time this year, Ray Boom Boom Martinez.
Comes in, scores the game first goal, the game-winning goal. So he is tonight's sub of the game, brought to you by Pellegrino's. Always fresh, always fast, always delicious. Power Trip player of the game tonight.
I got to welcome Alfonso Loera to the Rhinos. I think he did a tremendous job this evening. He's a physical presence. He reads the game so well. Loera, I think, is going to be a natural fit for the Rhinos defense. I thought he played a great game tonight.
Well, I have to agree with you. I think that one thing that we did see, and that is that Charles Becky didn't even really get a sniff. He got one shot basically in the game, in which he's had free reign against the Rhinos all season long, but he got nothing tonight, got nowhere. Anytime the ball was coming toward him, Loera was right up his rear end and blocking him away from the ball.
I think you nailed it on the head. Free reign. Jurtson, Becky, they had a lot of time in the other previous games to turn, to create, to go at defenders, to simply finish. And I think Loera really closing down on Becky. Jurtson was isolated tonight, and the Rhinos, they found a way to beat this Montreal team.
All right, good selection. Alfonso Loera, the player of the game selection, brought to you by Power Trip. Get in the game. All right, the Excelis play of the game, which is brought to you by Excelis Blue Cross Blue Shield, helping you achieve your goals. He'll lay it off on the left wing side, moving up on the ball. Here comes Palguda. Down to the 20, cross down inside, back post side, hit a ball, he scores! Off the right wing! The back post side, Martinez gets the head ball on a great service from Palguda. The Rhinos have finally scored against Montreal. And that has to be the play of the game because neither team was really getting anywhere to that point until a great pass from Palguda and a tremendous finish by Martinez. And the Rhinos put it away. That's the play of the game here tonight, which is brought to you by Excelis Blue Cross Blue Shield. Good choice there.
Absolutely. I mean, Martinez just coming in, coach loves him off the bench, the energy he brings, and he really was on the left side, but you saw him coming all over the field. He scored the goal from the right side. So Ray Martinez was very difficult to mark, and he made Montreal pay.
So the Rhinos will take on Atlanta. Now, do we know at this point, we haven't heard really on what the schedule is, have we?
Atlanta being the higher seed will get to select whether they're going to be home or away.
But that hasn't been determined yet.
Not yet. Maybe we'll find out something we can report in the postgame show.
All right, so we'll see if we can find out anything that goes on with that to let you know before going off the air here tonight. Otherwise, of course, rhinosoccer.com. Local media will be telling you what the schedule will be. But anyway, the Rhinos will have one game here at Paytech and one game in Atlanta this coming week or weekend against the Atlanta Silverbacks to see who moves on to what would be the semifinals.
It's the home and home, the total aggregate series, and teams want to play first game away, first game home. We'll see what Atlanta decides, and the Rhinos will have to prepare either way.
Well, that's coming up next. And don't forget that you can pick up your tickets at any time. Just stop by the Paytech Park box office. Or at any time, you can always call the Rhinos office, 454-KICK, to get information on getting tickets to that first-round playoff game. And the Rhinos will take on the Atlanta Silverbacks. Still to come, as Joe mentioned, the postgame show, as he and Sam will be taking calls and stuff, right?
Yeah, absolutely. 346-3000. And, down for the Rhinos, they got to continue to build on this win tonight and have a confident, upbeat week.
All right, congratulations, Joey, on getting another season season under your belt, and good luck in the playoffs to you.
I'll see you in a couple of days, Doc.
All right.
Thank you.
Joe Giuliano will be back with you for the post-game show, which continues in a moment. My thanks to Bobby D back at the station. Good job, as always. And we'll be back with you in the playoffs. I'm Don Stevens. Thanks for being along. Final score tonight at Paytech. The Rochester Rhinos 2, Montreal Impact nothing. And stick with us. This is the Rhinos Broadcast Network.
On News 1040 AM WYSL, if you're just tuning in, the Rhinos have finally found an answer to the Montreal Impact. Rochester 2, Montreal nothing. Here is the scoring rundown from Paytech Park tonight. 68th minute, Ray Martinez from Scott Palguda. 78th minute, the forward combination of Matthew Delacotte and Ahmed Diallo connecting for the 2-0 win tonight. Is a nice crowd, 12,448 here at Paytech Park this evening. Now there's one other game tonight in the USL First Division. Carolina is at California. They are kicking off in about 10 minutes. 10 p.m. kickoff for the Railhawks. With a win, they're in. That's right. Railhawks win, you're in. With a loss, they are out. Miami is in the playoffs. If Carolina does win tonight, Miami FC, their season is over. Carolina has 29 points. They played 27 games. Miami FC has 31 points, and their season regular season games are finished at 28. So that's the only other game tonight in the USL First Division. With the win tonight, though, the Rhinos jump up over Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico's played 28 games. They have 40 points. Rochester has 42 points. They are in the 5th spot. So right now we know for sure 4 plays 5. That's Atlanta, who has 43 points, and they will take on the Rochester Rhinos. That's 4 versus 5. Atlanta takes on Rochester, and hopefully before the end of the night, we'll have word from Atlanta or the league as to who's hosting the first game and where the second game will be in that home-and-home series. Rochester now will face Atlanta. For Montreal, they cannot win first place. They have 50 points. They've played 28 games. Their season is over. So the battle now is between Portland and Seattle for the top spot. They both play tomorrow. Seattle is at Minnesota. Portland is at Vancouver. Now Seattle has 51 points. Portland has 50 points. We'll see how this whole thing shapes up for Seattle, Portland. And again, Montreal, 50 points, cannot win first place in the USL First Division. We'll take a break. When we come back, it's the Heineken Direct call-in show, also sponsored by Auction Direct. The phone numbers you need to know, 346-3000, star 1040. Free call on the Verizon Wireless at star 1040, and also toll-free 866-552-1009. We'll come back after the break. This is the Rhinos Broadcast Network. It's the Heineken Direct Calling Show. Numbers 346-3000, star 1040 on the Verizon Wireless, or toll free at 866-552-1009. The Rhinos finally finding an answer for the Montreal Impact, and it could not have come at a better time. One game, as the last game of the season, just before the playoffs, and the Rhinos begin the new season now in the playoffs, and really should be going into the game with a ton of confidence against, again, Atlanta, who is the number 4 seed, Rochester number 5. And again, as we mentioned, Atlanta does have choice of the first home game or will they go away first, and hopefully we'll have a word on that tonight before we wrap up the post-game show. But let's go to the phones right now and speak to a goal scorer from the 78th minute, Matthew Delacotte, this evening. And Matthew, welcome to the post-game show. Nice return. Congratulations on the goal.
Thank you. Yeah, it's great to finally beat these guys. You know, obviously losing to them the past 2 weekends has not been great, and you know it's good to get the monkey off our back and show that we can beat Montreal. And you know, keeping the shutout is great, and obviously scoring a couple of goals against them is brilliant.
You know, Matthew, the goal you scored, the assist to Diallo in the 78th minute, that showed great understanding between the two of you. Diallo kind of held the ball up, then slid it through behind the defense, and you came out of nowhere. But you guys seem like you're getting on that same page?
Yeah, I mean, you know, any combination of forwards when you play, you know, you've got to try and get an understanding together. And, you know, it's great that, you know, he found me. I think I played him in, and he's got it back to me, and we finished the goal. So it's great to get that combination play and get goals like that. So, you know, hopefully we can keep that going and get some more goals in the playoffs.
Obviously, you were out with the broken jaw. You've come back now, playing a whole 82 minutes this evening, or 84 minutes this evening. Physically, give us an update. How do you feel?
I feel great. I mean, you know, I'm still not quite as sharp as I'd like to be, and
I don't think I'm quite 90 minutes match fit, but I'm close, which is very good. After 6 weeks after I had the wires taken off, I really thought it was going to be a struggle to even get back in the team. So I'm very pleased to be out here and helping to contribute to the team.
Matthew, how do the Rhinos move forward now? The playoffs beginning with Atlanta here, but what do you take from this game tonight against Montreal? Finally, getting away to beat them and score against them. What do you guys take away, and how do you prepare for the week?
One of our goals was to keep a clean sheet, and we did that tonight, and we're going to have to do that to advance in the playoffs. So, we probably would have taken a 0-0 result tonight as a positive. So, to come out 2-0 was great. We can score goals, we can keep shutouts, and that's what's going to make us advance in the playoffs. So we just got to, keep that momentum going.
Matthew, how about Atlanta? I know you probably haven't had a chance to even to absorb it yet, but how do you feel we match up with Atlanta here in the first round of the playoffs?
I think we can beat anyone in the league on our day. Obviously, they've beaten us both times this year, but we had a disappointing game when they came to Paytech Park, and we were very depleted when we went down there. So it's a whole new season now. What's in the past, and we feel confident that anyone we meet now we can beat.
How about that set piece you guys had? It was the craft service, your flick, and then looking for players running off of that. Is that something you guys worked on to get maybe a little more creative with the set pieces?
Yeah, we have. As long as everyone's framing the goal, you have the near post, the penalty spot, the far post, everyone's making runs and we're framing the goal, we should get good chances. It's when that breaks down, they get an easy clearance. So, we've just got to make sure everyone's doing their job, getting on the framing the goal, and people on the edge of the box will get the pops out for a shot. And, that's something we work on usually on game day or the day before, and, hopefully we'll get some goals in the playoffs too.
Well, let's hope it continues, and I like the combination of you and Diallo up top. Matthew, beautiful goal in the 78th minute. Have a good week, get pumped up, and continue this stuff into the playoffs.
Thanks very much.
And Matthew Delicat joining us here tonight on the Heineken Direct Call-In Show, also sponsored by Auction Direct. The final score, if you're just tuning in, is Rochester 2, Montreal 0. Martinez and Delicat on the scorer sheet this evening for the Rhinos. The numbers to call: 346-3000, star 1040 on the Verizon Wireless, or 866-552-1009. And talking during the broadcast, I've got to say my play of the game is after the goal by Ray Martinez. He went over to the corner where the Montreal Ultras were, and he just started celebrating. Jason Perry comes over. I don't know if you saw this during the game. Tears the side off the wall. They were like little flies just flying all over the place, upset, aggravated, as the Ultras not too happy with Jason Perry and his little tearing down session. But to me, that gets vote for player of the game. I want to hear your thoughts on that. 346-3000. And again, the Rhinos, now they will play Atlanta. Atlanta is the 4th seeded team in the USL First Division. They do have 43 points. Rochester not having the best of luck this year against the Atlanta Silverbacks, as I believe going 0-2. We'll double check that quickly here as the Rhinos, again, preparing for the first round of the USL First Division playoffs. The Silverbacks, of course, featuring David Hayes and Dan Antoniuk, who I think is a quality forward. Going to be a lot for the Rhinos to handle. On June 29th, the Rhinos lost 2-0 to Atlanta. That was here in Rochester. Then on July 14th, big 4-1 loss at Atlanta as well. So Atlanta's a tough team. The Rhinos have a lot to deal with the Silverbacks. But again, I think if they can stay positive, build some momentum off of this great win against the Montreal Impact tonight, the Rhinos, you get the funny feeling maybe things are starting to gel and peak, hopefully at the right time for the Rhinos as they head into the playoffs against Seattle and Portland, now fighting for the number 1 seed in the USL First Division playoffs. And again, the final score: Rochester 2, Montreal 0. Scott Pilgrim with that first assist. He deserves a lot of credit too. He came out, he was just nasty right from the start, coming in and showing his physical presence. Good stuff from Scott Vale. We're now going to be joined by a man who's been very busy on the field handling his player introductions and his TV duties, post-game TV duties. Soccer Sam joins us now. And what do you say? I think the Rochester Rhinos came out with more energy, Sammy, than I've seen them play in all 28 regular season games.
Energy and confidence.
Energy and confidence. That's a great point. And, the fire was in the belly tonight for the players for the Rhinos, and they come up with a 2-0 win against Montreal. Let's go to the phones again and speak with head coach Laurie Calloway tonight as the Rhinos over Montreal 2-0. Coach, good evening and welcome to the postgame show.
Hey guys, hello, how are you? Thanks for having me on. It's a little bit noisy down here. Let me walk away to the side a little bit.
Coach, tonight, Coach, spot on tonight. The team, the boys, had some fire in the belly tonight. They were not going to go down against Montreal tonight, and must have been a great week of preparation.
Yeah, I think it was obviously the best performance of the year overall. Part of it was we had a lot of the guys back with some game fitness under the belt. Kenny Burts from last week, and Nate Kraft and Ambo came back in. He's looked good this week in training, and some of the guys that have caused us to lose a bit of balance in terms of our shape and that type of stuff, offensively and defensively, we're back tonight. And I think Laria showed why he played for Chivas for 11 years. So, it's a tremendous performance from him. But not just singling out him, I think everybody did their part tonight. And the fire in the belly, maybe the last few games, because we made the playoffs 3.5 weeks ago, whatever it was. Maybe that took some of the steam out of it, and some of the reason that we haven't had that sort of type of performance tonight. We haven't had that type of performance until tonight. But obviously it's come at the right time, and we take that into the playoffs, and that's what we're going to need home and away through the next 2 weeks and into the final.
News 1040 WYSL Avon Rochester.
Coach, the marking defensively, Becky last week found some openings, but tonight you guys completely shut him off. You shut Jertson off. What did you guys try and change tonight from last week or the last couple weeks?
The 2 goals last week came in the first half before Laria came in. I think he's made a difference. I don't like signaling guys out necessarily, but I think we can see what a class player he is. Reads the game very well. He doesn't try and muscle Charles. He's a subtle player. He intercepts. He won most of his challenges against Charles tonight, and when he was matched up with Kenny, and Charles was matched up with Kenny did a great job. Last week, Kenny had, he'd got 12 minutes under his belt from the game here 2 weeks ago. A couple of reserve games, and, it showed. I think he didn't quite have the legs last week. He's trained very hard this week, and there's a big difference in Kenny's performance. And then we've worked hard on set pieces and, discipline and concentration in the defensive side of things. And we've worked hard at getting midfield players to understand that they've got to play a big part in that. And also, I thought Hamid worked much harder tonight in terms of helping Delhi put pressure on their back four and their goalkeeper when they had the ball. So that affected their service into their front people or the midfield. And so you can only defend if you're all working hard, and that's what we did tonight.
Coach, tonight, the difference, too, in my opinion, were the 2 finishes on the goals. Ray Martinez, I don't think I've ever seen him head the ball, let alone head the ball upper far corner like that. And then Delhi, one-on-one where Gervais beats him, jams it, toes it in the corner. What 2 great finishes?
Ray's probably, I think he's on the treatment table now having treatment for his head. You're right, he doesn't head the ball very often, but a great header. We work hard on getting fullbacks wide, Aloisi and Falguda. We try to get them wide, whoever's played in those positions, and tonight Falguda got forward on the left, served a great cross, and Ray, to everybody's surprise, got that great header, so that's a plus. And obviously the Delhi ball to Diallo and the Diallo ball back to Delhi, nice combination between the 2 of them there. But again, we talked this, and that was like a goal caused by penetration. And I don't think we've been doing enough of that, particularly our front 2 and our attacking midfield player, where we're getting in behind people, and of course Gervais a big problem there, and obviously we were able to capitalise on it.
Well, Coach, extremely entertaining performance. There was a whole different buzz tonight in the stadium. We look forward now to the playoffs, the Atlanta Silverbacks. Do we have any idea of who's hosting the first game or who's away? What's happening there?
Joe, I think I'm hearing through the grapevine that they want to have Friday night down there, but they're waiting for the authorization from their owner. They want Friday night because it enables them to only travel once before the game here. Obviously have to travel back, but they'll only have one trip in between, and that's their prerogative. That's what we did going to Charleston last year. So we'll have to see. Either way, we've played Charleston this year with both times during our depleted weeks and months. Without some of our top players. Played Atlanta. So we're obviously looking forward to playing them with our full squad and turn the table on them when it really matters. It's all right for them to be 2-0 in the league against us, but it's all down now to another season, the playoff season.
It's a new season we're preaching here on the broadcast tonight, and Coach Loera, we talked about him tonight. I get my vote for player of the game to him. How do we find him, and how did someone else not from MLS or even a higher level try to scoop this guy up? Talk about that process. Well,
funny enough, he did play in the MLS for Chivas USA in the first year, and obviously they had a bit of a nightmare. They didn't have a strong team, and I think he probably suffered the consequences because they tried to use a lot of Mexican Americans who weren't good enough, and I think Chivas underestimated the standard of the MLS. But he's been with that organization for 10 years. My agent, he brokered some deals with a guy who's very, very well connected in Mexico. And I told him way back when we were struggling, with Kenny out and the defensive core was really depleted. I told Graham, keep an eye out for me as far as a defender, and then I got the call from him that this guy was available. He just left Tabasco, I believe it is, in the second division after playing for Chivas for all those years, and he came in, and unfortunately we couldn't get his release for almost 4.5, 5 weeks, and last week was the first time we could take him or put him in the squad. So it's again one of those old boys contacts. You work your contacts, and sometimes you come up with a good player, and in this case, I think we can see what a great addition he's going to be for the rest of this season and the future.
Coach, talk about Soccer Town USA tonight. It was like a World Cup buzz here. They had the horns from Time Warner, the flags from the Stampede on one side, and then the Ultras from Montreal on the other side. I think that's what they're called. It just seems so World Cup. And the beauty at the end of the game, Lorea, his first game here at Paytech playing, he had like 100 people around him getting his autograph. I mean, that just shows you they understand this game. It's beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the horns, I thought, made a huge difference. Particularly in the first half, and I think people got tired of blowing them. It felt like a European game, a German game, or something like that, where they blow those horns all the time. I thought it added to the atmosphere and helped our guys, and I'm going to suggest we do it again. With the two rival booster clubs chanting obscenities at each other, I mean, it felt like a European game, and something that we don't often experience. And Montreal, Rochester games are always going to bring that little bit extra. Tonight it was just even more, particularly because of the horns.
Coach, Jason Perry should get a bonus tonight because when he ran over and he tore down the banner, that was probably player of the game tonight. Did you see him do that after the Martinez goal?
What did he do?
He tore the banner down in front of the Montreal supporter section.
Oh, no, I didn't. I was no, I'm sorry, I didn't see that, but that's great. Yeah. They were ragging on me at half time, and I just sort of did a zip action across the lips. They're going with your rhinos, you're going for 4. I just wanted to sort of don't count your chickens before they're hatched. So it's probably it's great to win. It's put them actually on notice though that it's not a piece of cake going into the playoffs, and especially if they have to play us again. So that's probably not good because we've alerted them to the fact that they're not unbeatable, and I think they were starting to get a little bit of the feeling that they were unbeatable against us, and we've proved that wrong tonight. So who knows what will happen down the road? But good chance for my team again.
You never know, Coach. Well, whatever magic mix you put together this week, let it last a little longer. Good job tonight, and
thanks, Joe.
Great stuff heading into the playoffs.
Thanks very much. I appreciate it as usual. Thank you. Bye.
Coach Callaway, congratulations on a 2-0 win, and whatever he did this week, he got the guys fired up, and they're ready to go now heading into the playoffs.
I think a part of it was some lineup changes, Lorea back there doing his thing, but the other part of it was the fans. Let's face it. It felt like old school Rhino soccer.
It was awesome. I'm hearing the horns going and the teams supporting sections cheering, and it was a great. I haven't seen an atmosphere like this in a long time, and I hope it continues. Like Coach said, they want to continue to do those horns again. What are those? Blow that thing for me, would you please?
It's really loud.
Here, give it a blow.
Are you
Go
sure?
ahead. I love it. I think it's awesome. Those are compliments of Time Warner.
Time Warner, one of our sponsors, hand these out for, I think, the first 5,000 people had them. And if you're listening out there, you're driving home, bring these to the next game.
Absolutely.
Coach Callaway said it. I think next game's going to probably be here.
That sounds like Friday, Atlanta. Tentatively. Again, we're hearing grumblings and rumors that the first game may be in Atlanta. The second game may be here in Rochester. Would that be Sunday?
It's supposed to be Sunday, but I think there's some conflicts here at the stadium.
Really?
So it might be, who knows, they might have to change it to Saturday.
Wow. Can you imagine a Friday-Saturday series?
Yeah, it'd be great. Great for our fans.
It'd be a tough one.
No, I'm only kidding. I don't want a game on a Sunday. I want a game on a Saturday.
You can't. You can't.
Monday's school. It's going to affect our fan base. NFL football. It's like, if Tim Holder, the people from USR are listening, why do you do it Friday, Sunday? Sunday. It's a bad day for soccer.
Yeah, but
for our fans.
If you're going to give the guys, then you should go Friday.
Either Friday, or go Wednesday, Friday.
But again, the midweek dates, people don't want it. You just said school, people have to get up. If that's the complaint you've got, I go Friday.
I guess.
But Atlanta, I think, is going to be a tough team. I've been telling you all along. But I think this Rhino team now with Loera back there defensively, the big win over Montreal, they're going to see a different Rhinos team.
There's only in many, many years, the last team to win first place in this league and go on to the championship was in 1998, the Rochester Rhinos.
Wow.
So anything could happen. We're end up in in fifth place now, most likely?
Fifth. We are in
fifth place. We can still win it all. We're going to win it all. It's going to happen.
Unbelievable. Folks, the number is 346-3000, star 1040 on the Verizon Wireless or toll-free 866-552-1009. We'll take a break. When you come back, we'll take some calls here. This is the Heineken Direct Call-In Show, also sponsored by Auction Direct. This is the Rhinos pregame show, the Heineken Direct Call-In Show, sponsored by Auction Direct as well. Joe Giuliano, Soccer Sam, 346-3000, star 1040, free call on the Verizon Wireless. Rochester 2, Montreal nothing. Big win for the Rhinos over the Impact, and Coach Callaway and the boys really got to be excited about heading into the playoffs with some momentum and some speed and some fire in the belly as the buzz is back here in Rochester tonight. 2-0 win over Montreal. We have an update from out of town, Soccer Sam.
Well, the Carolina Railhawks are leading against the California Victory 1-0, and I'm not sure who scored. What time?
Stuart Brightwell in the 9th minute.
9th minute, Stuart Brightwell. So if Carolina wins that tonight, they're definitely in the playoffs.
Remember what I said, though? They're not going to make the playoffs.
You said that. Joe.
They're not going to make it.
And I told you they were going to. They're going to get 8th place in the playoffs. Charleston was eliminated last night by not winning against Puerto Rico. But if Carolina somehow loses to California, then Miami's in the playoffs. So we'll see what happens. But tomorrow there's 2 huge games. Seattle's at Minnesota. Right now Seattle has 51 points, Joe. And if they win that, they're probably going to clinch the league first place.
They are going to clinch it with a win. They definitely will clinch.
But I don't think they're going to win. I think Minnesota's going to surprise them tomorrow night. So I'm saying that Seattle's going to end the season with 51 points.
Okay.
And then Portland tomorrow night goes to Vancouver.
Right.
And again, I think Portland's going to lose there to Vancouver, and that'll give Portland 50 points. So Portland and Montreal will both have 50 points. Seattle will end up with 51 points. Atlanta with 43. And then the Rhinos with 42.
So you think Seattle will still hang on to that first spot?
I think they'll hang on to the first spot and they'll end up playing Carolina in round 1. I think that's going to happen, but we'll see. Anything can happen, but I get a feeling Portland is going to lose against Vancouver. Vancouver, it's a home game. They struggled. Eddie Sabrango's getting back in the lineup a little bit. I think that Vancouver's going to win that one, so we'll see what happens.
How could Vancouver make the trade that they did, though? Jertson and Testo to Montreal. What? You might know something, insider. I don't know, but what a boneheaded move.
Well, a lot of times in sports that happens. I'm curious on Bob Lilly's contract and what happens here and how far he goes in the playoffs. Is this going to haunt him? Is Bob Lenarduzzi and the ownership group in Vancouver start questioning, how do you let these two guys go?
Unless he didn't pull the trigger on it. Maybe Lenarduzzi did it.
Maybe it was that. They both are in option years, so at the end of the year, they most likely were going to either want a lot more money or leave anyway.
Okay.
So I think that was part of the reasoning behind it.
Try to get something out of them.
And then I think maybe there was some dissension in the locker room. That happens a lot. People are, not happy about things, talking about the coach behind his back. It gets out. I mean, that happens in all sports. So, but let's face it, Montreal tonight proved, though, that despite, having Joey Jurtson and Teslo, they still could lose, man. It's about shooting. It's about taking those opportunities. Ray Boom Boom Martinez, a real soccer player. Hamed Diallo, a real soccer player. Matthew Delacat, a real soccer player. Making things happen up top. You got to make it happen, Joey.
It's also, though, about being aggressive and stepping in hard to challenges, sending a message saying, I'm going to win the ball over you. And we saw that tonight. We saw that from everyone. Loretta, Burtz, Pelguda was Mr. Nasty right from the start.
Bolton was usually cool and calm. He was hitting hard, hitting late. The whole team. Coach Callaway and Euchre Maslin, the assistant coach, did a great job of getting this team ready for tonight's game.
They were fired up, ready to go. And good to see them also come up with some more creativity on the free kicks. I think that's going to be a big part of the playoffs, making those chances count.
And, let's face it, John Ball didn't play tonight because of yellow card accumulation. So John Ball, he's another player that has played fantastic recently, and we'll get him into this thing on next weekend, most likely Friday at home. Or I'm sorry, Friday in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Most likely Sunday at home. But I got to talk to Matthew Ford. I don't think our stadium is going to be available Sunday.
Well, what we're talking about tentatively right now, again, this is not confirmed or official. We're just assuming Atlanta may take the first game on Friday. Rochester may take the second game, albeit Saturday, Sunday, or who knows when else, Sammy. We'll see what happens as things go on.
Well, we have a deeper bench in Atlanta. I would go Saturday because I think the Red Wings or someone's using the stadium Sunday anyway here, so we need to play Saturday.
The Red Wings are using Paytech Park?
Yeah, they're gonna have an end of the season thing Sunday.
You're kidding, I hope.
No, somebody's using it Sunday. We can't play here Sunday. We're gonna play Saturday.
The Red Wings are going to use Paytech Park.
We own them. They used to do it to us all the time.
That's the funniest thing I've heard all year.
Drag one. Oh, hey, what's all those lines? Come on. Mover, run the bases.
I've heard it all now. The Red Wings are going to use Paytech Park. You heard it here first on the postgame show. All right, so the Rhinos again, the 2-0 win over Montreal tonight. Carolina leads California 1-0. My prediction of Carolina not making the playoffs may not hold true, Sammy.
Joe, I said it from day one that they're going to make it, and it's because I want them to make it. I think it's good for the league, and I think it's good for Christian Canamese. The man, the man's a pioneer in this league, and I think it's great for him. And they're going to probably play Seattle in the first round. It's going to be a difficult challenge for them.
Could you imagine though, long term, Carolina, Rochester get to the final?
Carolina and Rochester in the final here at Paytech Park would be a 14,000 plus.
Could it even work? If one plays 8, then they have to be probably reseeded again after that, according to what's left as far as the seedings. Who knows? It's just wishful thinking. See what happens there. But number is 346-3000, star 1040 on the Verizon Wireless. Give us a call. And also toll free 866-552-1009. I am shocked we haven't gotten callers tonight. Shocked.
It's like this, Joe. When the fans are really happy, they don't call. Tonight, they were just happy. I mean, there was thousands of people on the field after the game. They were just into this, so they go home. And the same guys that call when the team loses, the team's awful, the coach, blah, blah, blah. When they win like this, they can't call. What are they going to say? What are they going to say? Oh, I was wrong? They're not going to admit this. See, I'm the only guy that can admit when I'm wrong. I was wrong
Which is a lot.
Remember when I was like 8 years old, I was wrong that time.
I'm not going to touch the right-wrong thing because I've been there lately a lot. But, again, we're happy the Rhinos have won. I'm happy tonight. I really am. I'm glad to see Delacat Diallo connect. I'm glad to see Martinez come in. And I love when he went over the crowd there, just showed off that Rhinos jersey. But did you see when Perry tore the banner down?
I saw that. That was cool.
They were like little flies, just kind of jumping around all mad. Like, come on, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And it was great.
Je débulle my banner. The guy's mother from Montreal sold that banner for 8 hours. It just got ripped.
It was great because especially what happened last week up there with your car.
Yeah.
That whole garbage situation. I'm glad Perry just get out of here. Take that junk and get out of here.
Well, I'm not sure if that's the guys that are the violent guys in Montreal. They're the guys that got the skinheads, and they're really, they shave their heads. They're scary, man.
Right.
They got I don't want to describe them, but these guys, I think, were just your casual, nice fans. They're just having fun. And, they're like, hey, you ripped our banner. But they were cool. Once the security went over there, they all,
They stay or they take them out of the stadium?
No, most of them stood. Most of them stood. Unless you saw something I didn't see.
No, I just saw yellow shirts flying over there trying to do something. I don't know what they were doing.
Well, Perry took their banner and they got upset, but that was great for the fans. But, Joe, on the field tonight, everything was clicking. Pelguda, I questioned him playing outside tonight. I didn't think the speed was a factor, but I think he feels more comfortable. He has more room to do his thing. He likes to cross. He likes to dribble. And Lorea he was going from one end to another, up and down. We haven't done that all year long.
No.
Aloisi, he was way up in the box, overlapping. Everybody, it was like an all-offensive mode here.
Aloisi could be a candidate, too, for, I think, a comeback player of the year as well. He started off the year real shaky. Wow, I don't know if this guy's even going to make the year, but Aloisi, I think, has really just turned his whole game around. Very impressed with what Chris Aloisi has brought to the table lately.
Joe, on the TV tonight, I interviewed Diallo, who only speaks French. I interviewed Lorea, who only speaks Spanish. And I interviewed Ray Martinez, nobody even knows what he speaks. It's Cubanish or something. It was tough. And then I interviewed Josh Bolton, and I didn't even know what to say to him because I was so used to talking to these guys that couldn't speak English. I was staring at him hello, speak English?
I would love to get a look at those interviews.
Time Warner Sports Network, they show the replay. Look for the Rhino game, look for the news, and look for Joe's color commentary. Don Stevens doing the play-by-play. It's great stuff. It's going to get you in the mood. If you weren't here tonight, or you're driving around, and you're listening to WYSL, you got to come next weekend. Go to rhinosoccer.com for all your news and find out when the next home game is. And Joe, I know you're coaching right now, high school soccer.
Yes.
Arcadia?
Athena, Sam.
I was just teasing you. I know there's a rivalry.
Okay.
All you coaches that are doing high school soccer, man, get the kids out here next weekend.
Yeah.
This is a great way to get them in the zone, get them in to feel it. This is going to be a sellout crowd next weekend.
And really, if you bring your young players, I've brought a lot of guys from my teams here. Watch a guy like Loera, how he defends. He doesn't just come in and blast you and knock you down. He just knows how to ride you where he wants you, whether it's just sliding the ball out of bounds or just that light pressure from behind. Just watch the little things he does. I think kids can learn a lot from Loera.
Is it Loretta? How do you say it?
Loera.
Loera.
All right,
I was saying it wrong. I was saying Laurie, I think, earlier.
Loera. Some awards were given out this evening, Sammy. The comeback player of the year?
Scott Bello. Where'd he go?
He went vacation and came back.
Injury.
Obviously.
Yes.
Yakov Angelo Community Service Award.
I met the Yakov Angelo family down there. Very good people. And that was Jason Perry.
Jason Perry, very good. Rookie of the year. Kevin Burns.
Kevin Burns.
Nothnagel Leadership and Dedication Award. Johnny Ball.
You got to give it to John Ball.
Without a doubt.
He's such a leader. He just fires his team up. And on the bench tonight, he was just firing these guys up.
And the word dedication, you think of John Ball. Most valuable player.
Well, Diallo got it. Our leading scorer, unfortunately not the league's leading scorer. He was there. He was there for a while.
Yeah, he was knocking on the door.
But unfortunately, he got knocked down to third place right now. But Ahmed Diallo, the MVP, and I like the way he reacted to the crowd and kind of really felt honored that he won an award here in America.
I think he deserved it. I think he did a great job. Delicate went down with an injury, and someone had to come in as a big guy up top, and Diallo did it.
He came through big, and Ambersley tonight, Joe, he's had a foot injury.
Played well.
He reminds me of Doug Miller, the way he holds the ball and the way he dribbles.
I can see that.
He's just the look, his style of play. I thought he played great, and again, I thought Josh Bolton controlled the defense well, played physical, nice passes, nice vision.
Great stuff from the Rhinos. 2-0 winners tonight. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back and wrap this up. This is the Heineken Direct call-in show, also sponsored by Auction Direct on WYSL 1040 AM. Your final score this evening, you just heard Don Stevens call it 2-0 Rochester over Montreal. Martinez, 68th minute. Delicate, 78th minute. Assisting tonight, Scott Pelguda and Ahmed Diallo. The Rhinos now facing the Atlanta Silverbacks in the first round of the playoffs. Be sure to tune into all the radio shows here in town. My show Tuesday night, the Soccer Report, Soccer's a Kick of the Grass, Soccer Sam show, and as well as the Rhinos website, rhinosoccer.com, for final information as to who is hosting the first game. But it is Rochester and Atlanta. We're going to wrap the show up tonight. Let's go to soccer. Sam. Sammy, your final thoughts tonight. On that note, Joe Giuliano, thanks to Bob D'Angelo, Don Stevens, and Soccer Sam. We'll wrap it up. The Rhinos' big win tonight, 2-0 over Montreal, heading into the playoffs with some steam. Ciao for now.